Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you.
Hello. Happy Monday. Happy
There
Monday.
we go. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, it's Monday. So
Yay. I love Mondays.
here we are. Here we are.
Yes. You had a good weekend?
I woke up this morning. I was like, is today Sunday?
Oh, no.
Do
You
I
were
have another
confused.
day? Is this a work day?
Oh, no. You were confused.
I think I just wanted it to be one
Wanted
more
a
day.
redo of the weekend.
Little redo. Yeah, it was a nice weekend. Yourself?
Yeah. No complaints.
Good.
Pretty busy weekend, I think, for the police. They seem to have had a lot going on.
Well, let's get some headlines. Here we go.
All right.
Big news. I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Hey, Sandy. Happy Monday.
Good morning, Blake and Aaron. How you guys doing?
We're good. What do you got for us this morning?
Awesome. So we got quite a few headlines this morning. Police had a busy weekend between car accidents. Yesterday, there was an overturned vehicle on the Esterly Tibbetts. There was some sort of a sting operation shortly after that had a portion of Governor Square taped off with police tape. Our unofficial sources told us that they may have recovered several firearms and arrested 2 men. So we'll wait for the official word on that situation. There was at least 2 to 3 separate incidents in the district of East End over the weekend as well, which is a little bit surprising. East End is normally pretty quiet, but we had reports of arsons and stabbing and all sorts of family-related disputes that then led to violence and the police having to be called. All of this on the heels of the police actually announcing just a few days ago that they needed to have a station out in the eastern districts, so you guys can report things that happen. Well, okay. I guess they probably need that sooner than later. So they have confirmed that they are investigating an East End stabbing. They have confirmed that there was a case of arson in East End. And they have also confirmed that, let me see if they confirmed a third incident. Right. Those 2 at least have been confirmed. Yes. And then there was a man on Saturday morning in the wee hours of the morning, around 4:00, who was assaulted after brandishing a weapon at a local bar off of Eastern Avenue. So most of you are familiar with Bananas and their reputation, which is kind of bananas. So yeah, this guy looks like he brandished a weapon and then he got what was probably coming to him.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was, I saw the photo and I was like, wow, he might be lucky to be alive. All right. Let me see now. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh gosh, it was such a busy weekend.
That's enough, isn't it?
I know. So the police definitely kept busy, but we have there was also a Rotan hospital fire. This is such a sad situation, really. We're going to talk a little bit about this morning, but a hospital in Rotan was destroyed after fire broke out at that facility there, and really, really devastating for the Bay Islands. So that happened on Friday night. We've been told, and this is a sad part of the story that we'll certainly discuss here this morning as well. Remember, the Cayman Islands actually donated 2 fire trucks to them. Unfortunately, those fire trucks were of no use to the people of Rotan and the Bay Islands because apparently the fire trucks have not been released by customs because they can't afford the exorbitant fees being charged by their customs, which is crazy. So we've donated very, very useful and good fire trucks that they can't now use.
That's bizarre.
It's ridiculous is what it is. So sadly,
doesn't the government help out with that?
You would think, right? For a government, for like a hospital,
it's
you would
for
think.
them.
Precisely. All right. Good news. Young Cayman footballers, I know, had to dig hard for this one. Visit Chelsea Academy. So congratulations to all of the young people. 31 children from 345 FC's Development Center and Junior Academy were recently given the chance to visit Chelsea FC's home in England and to train at Chelsea's training facility. So that's pretty cool. The football club said that this all-around learning trip was intended to give the children an insight into what it takes to become professionals. So the head coach, Mr. Andy Oatley, took time to coach the players as well as to spend time with the family, sharing the pathways for both boys and girls in the Chelsea Academy. The commitment, basically showing them the commitment it takes and the detailed all-around behavior and mentality that, you know, is considered for a professional football player. So kudos to them, showing the young folks the ropes.
All right. I have one story before you go.
Oh, sure.
I'm just like dumbfounded by this story because
Oh,
just coming off of the NCAA championship. So you know that we were talking about the men's and the women's
yes.
actually NBA or not NBA, the NCAA women's championship had more viewers
Yeah.
than the men's finale, right?
Right.
And a lot of it had to do with a lot of the superstars that
Mhm.
went on to the NBA, including
Mhm.
Caitlin Clark from
Mhm.
Iowa, right?
Okay.
And she just signed a deal with the WNBA,
Yes.
which is really just dumbfounding because she is not making anywhere near
I saw this. Yeah. The
NBA
discrepancy.
players. Now,
Mhm.
Caitlin Clark signed a $338,000 contract over 4 years. So her first year, she's going to make a whopping
Wow. Oh
$76,535.
my God. And her male counterparts are making how much?
Her second year, she'll make 78,000, and the third year, 85,000. Uh,
Wow.
in as comparison, San Antonio Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama, the number one pick
Mhm.
in last year's NBA draft, secured a $55 million 4-year contract, under which he pocketed $12 million in the first year. So $12 million for the men, 76,000 for the
Wow.
women.
Not even in the same ballpark. Not even
I
on the
mean,
same basketball court.
I mean, she might make more money getting the new minimum wage $20 an hour at fast food restaurant in California.
Right? Especially if she's
Yeah.
a manager at the Burger King.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this discrepancy before, and it's really, really unfortunate. But practically in every single profession, even the professions that are traditionally, dominated by women,
yeah.
men make more money than women in those professions.
Now, I
It's
get it. A lot of it has to do with commercials and viewership and that sort of thing, but they're already
Mhm.
selling out games. So hopefully this is momentum in the right direction and these salaries will increase. And Caitlin Clark will make millions of dollars in endorsements. But it's just the base salary was just a bit mind-boggling compared
Yeah,
to
it's
the
crazy.
men. But all right, tomorrow
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm gonna test your knowledge on
Yeah.
Olympic sports.
Oh God.
All right. I'll give you
Yeah.
one day to prepare.
Uh-huh.
There you go. And we'll
You
see
gotta, you
tomorrow.
gotta prepare me for a trivia question tomorrow.
I'm going to test your knowledge on what sports are Olympic sports and what are not.
Oh, okay. All right. I like
So
this game.
let me give you an example. Breakdancing.
Yes, we know that's an Olympic sport now.
That is an Olympic sport. See, you
Yeah.
got one right.
All
So
right. All right.
see how easy that
I
is?
got a decent memory. And I
All
remember
right.
you told me last week. So, yep.
All right. So we'll try tomorrow.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Sounds good.
Later.
Bye. All right, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing, honey chill? What's going on? Buenos dias. Everybody good? Hi, Instagram folks. We got Misty Chanel in the house. We got Carrie, Tracy, Sophia, Dominic, Mel, Poppy, what? Papita? Real Nelly. As opposed to the fake Nelly. Caribbean Queen 345. What's up? Mary Ivis. What is this? Poppy. What is this one? Poppy J? Mommy Durl. Y'all come up with some wild Instagram names. Next ride 345. Wonder what he's riding, honey chill. We got Soca Madness. Chanel Scott in the house. And some of them I just can't even pronounce. Brock Barbie. Mess with you. Shauna Tasha. Okay. 345 West Side. Faithful 0789. Hot boy. We need to see your picture to determine if that's true, young man or old man. We don't know who hot boy is. Genesis, Monica, Luke K. Trying to see which ones I can actually figure out what they are. Chrissy Bay. It is Queen B. Yes. Andrea Solomon 72. Hash Brownie. Hash and then WH Brownie. Okay. Hey, what? Hey, RY guy. Uh-huh. Whew, what a hot mess. Y'all took some time thinking about those names, I see. Good morning. Much easier to pronounce everybody else's name. We got Irvelin. We have Siobhan. We've got Robert. We've got Miss Morna. Miss Sanya in the house. Good morning, darling. Stephanie Brooks, Kathy, Irvelin, Olivia. Oh, let me send out my links. Hold on. What's up, people? I'm coming to you. Give me 1 second here. Yes, honey chill. Everybody had a safe weekend, hopefully. We're going to talk about some of the madness that definitely happened over the weekend. I feel like it was a little bit of mayhem. And by the way, if you have not been outside recently, you should know the mosquitoes are back with a vengeance. So, yeah, there's that. I was trying to walk the dog this morning and slapping myself everywhere. Okay, let's see here now. Felicia, wee, Aliano, good morning. He says, good morning, K-Man. Who's getting blazed up, yo? Hashtag beat Johan. He beat Johan to the question. Good morning, Ja Rover. Everybody's good. Thank you. Jaja Weapons says, I hate Mondays. What? Why? Mondays is like a fresh start. Listen, I'm rocking some curls today. I don't know if y'all see it or not. Big shout out to Racia. Went and did a little wash yesterday. And she said, you know what? I'm gonna give you some curls. And all she did was the rolling of the hair upwards and pin it. And then look, I'm rocking some curls. I love it. What I love about it is it wasn't like rollers in my head, because I can't sleep with rollers in my head, honey chill. My little scalp is too sensitive for that. But this is just as good. I mean, it doesn't have the curls like all the way up to the top, whereas the rollers would be a lot more curls. But hey, I'm loving it. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let me see who else. Andrea, thank you. Good morning. Damaris joining us from New York. Who else is here in terms of our international crew? Who else we got? Damien says it's Monday, Moon Day. Miss Ann, thank you. Dorothy McLeod, good morning, my darling. First Lady Jeanne in the house. Blessings. Aliana says Key-Man needs to get its ish together in more ways than one. Good morning, Tina Marie. Daniel says alcohol and drug sister and poor law enforcement. I would not doubt that all of those were contributing factors for the madness of the weekend. Debbie, Delilah, Hilda, Everton, Marshall. Yes, usual suspects. More viewers from Men's Money. What? From Men's More Money Made. Oh, I suppose that's true, Damien, but I'm telling you, there's a huge disparity in what women and men make across the board. So I'm not surprised. The only thing that surprises me a little bit with the sports is how big the disparity is. It is huge. You can't tell me that a pro basketball player, you could make more flipping burgers as a manager at a fast food chain than she does. Come on. Sports brings in a lot of money. And ticket sales and commercials. And, now that y'all are finding the women's basketball more exciting than the men anyway, I can't believe that they can't give them a better salary than that. But every single profession. I was trying to remember the article that we shared with you back in March for International Women's Day, when we were talking about the discrepancy in salaries that men and women make. Again, even in roles like nursing and stuff, that's traditionally a quote unquote women's field, domestic work, Men who entered those fields still make more money than women. I think you have to accept that there is a disparity there because men have supposedly been ruling the world into the ground for a long time. So of course they're going to pay their counterparts. It comes down to pure and simple prejudices, and it has nothing to do with one's qualifications. And in fact, we share that. Women can be more qualified than the men, and the men are still making more money. It is just a man's world. That's why we say the good old boys network is alive and well and perpetrating lots of foolishness out there. What a hot mess. Good morning, Jim. How are you? So good to see you. No time, patience, or space for any drama, hate, or BS today. Yes, Jim, love it. Miss Stacy always puts my straw in the wrong way. I need to tell her about this. So you see this little thing here? It's like a little edge. I wonder if she thinks that that's where your lip is supposed to stop. So that goes in the other way because see how it's hard to go in? Because it's meant to prevent your straw from being pulled out. So that's why that's on that end. The drinking end is completely different. Let me try to take off the top without spilling it. Oh, honey child, she gave me a lot of ice this morning. I know Miss Facey from the pharmacy's listening. She's like, Sandy, you drinking water with ice again? Maybe I didn't need so much ice. Maybe just a little bit of ice, but makes it so refreshing. I'm not a fan of water, but I'm trying to change my mentality and love water. Yes, KK, rocking some style this morning, some curls. Morning, Patricia Blake, Shaka Zulu in the house. Good morning to you, darling. Happy Monday. I love a Monday because it's like a fresh start all over again. Name a male superstar that earns more money than a woman superstar, says Aliano. Well, I know male actors and actresses make more money. So let's see. Do male models make more money? So this may be the one profession that you found where women earn 148% more than their male counterparts. There you go. Yay, Aliano. You found probably the only profession where women traditionally make more than men because they dominate that profession, I suppose. Here's a story you should read. Not a story, but an article talking about the enduring grip of the gender pay gap. This is from the Pew Research Center. American women typically earned 82 cents for every dollar earned by men. So we talked about it before. Very, very sad. Barbara Smith joining us from the UK. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Miss Charmaine. So good to see you. Good morning, Nathan. Miss Pat is here. Lucille is in the house. Sophia, how are you? Listening from the UK. Whoop, whoop. We got our UK crowd here. Where's Stephen? Stephen Nicholson from the UK. Johan, you're late. Jim says you're looking extra special today, girl. Thank you. Teus, happy morning. Says that it's great to be alive. Yes, indeed. Rough Seas says a men's high school team can outplay the women in the WNBA. That is why they don't get paid as much. That's probably not why they don't get paid as much. They don't get paid as much because they've got a hoo-hoo instead of a wee-wee. That's why they don't get paid as much. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. Even porn stars, I bet the men get paid more. Carlos, good morning. Joining us from Honduras. Linda from Bermuda. Good morning, honey chill. Johan, don't get yourself blocked now. Talking about what was lit. Did you miss the day of the rules? Mm-hmm. Good morning, Paul. How you doing? Says the sandflies got me on my visit. Oh my God, they are next. Well, I'm not hanging out at the beach at dusk and dawn. But yes, the sandflies, I actually had someone recently, they thought it was bed bugs that got them. And I had a guy look at the bite marks and he was like, no, honey chill, those are sandflies. And I said, sandflies are a little bit invisible. So I feel like a lot of people don't even know what they are. And they also seem to bite you and you don't even know that you've been bitten. Yes, Paul, hope you're able to recover. Put on some antihistamine, take a few tablets. Lizzie, good morning. Roni Ebanks in the house, joining us from Florida. So good to see you. Damon says, that's it. Who will pay millions for players that they don't have the viewers and money being made? 101 business. Again, I would believe that if it was only that type of event that women are paid less, but that clearly isn't the case. Johan says, why isn't Sandy starring in Grand Cayman's Sun and Bun in Paradise show? It's hilarious. Because I'm not into either one of those. I'm not into the sun or the bun. You know what? I actually caught up a little bit. I fell asleep during the third episode. Apparently, they dropped 2 episodes of the show this morning. Anybody else watching this? So I fell asleep. But I must tell you that, honestly, I don't know. It's a little bit weird. These are big adults. They're not like 20-something-year-old people, right? Are all these people not like in their 30s and 40s by now? Who's the youngest of this group? And they have time to go out to like clubs. You know the one English girl, what's her name again? With the she's of mixed race, obviously, with the long hair. The one that dates Tyson. What's her name again? I don't even know the characters' names. But I'm thinking this woman is a mother of, I think, 3. She seems like a really nice person. Is that normally your life, going out to clubs and then you start crying? Because apparently she ran into one of the other women that he was cheating on her with. And she like gets upset. And then I guess next episode, there's supposed to be a fight or something. Y'all are mothers. First of all, I don't know what could be out in these clubs that would be worth. Listen, how you find him is probably how you're going to lose him. So I'm guessing not the McTaggart girl. She looks like she's the only sensible one in the group. Her and the foster kid. He's a little bit sensible. His life looks a little bit boring, to be honest. When I say sensible, that means their lives are probably boring by comparison. But yeah, I'm thinking, they show her with her 2 other kids. I think when she came from the UK, she must have been married to an Englishman and then probably met Tyson and that fell apart. Is her name Chelsea? That's Chelsea, right? Chelsea, girl, what are you doing out in these clubs? Be at home playing Monopoly with the kids or something. It's just not a good look. And then she sees one of his girlfriends or whatever and starts getting upset. I'm like, child, please. You're crying over Tyson? First of all, I know somebody says we have clubs in Cayman. I know, right? First of all, you are wasting your energy on Tyson. I don't care what that boy says about, this is the real me. Girl, please. That was a trivial line for the cameras. That ain't no real him. The real him at Botanical Park, getting bitten up by mosquitoes and watching you squeeze water out of some plant. That is not the real Tyson. The real Tyson is buck wild and naked out in these streets, honey chill. And he's never going to change. He wants to be the, 50-year-old playboy. And you have to recognize, quite frankly, that there are some people who that's just their MO. Don't bother trying. You can't change anybody. Don't even bother trying. So, I don't know, honey child. Like I said, I fell asleep during the third episode. So I guess I have to go back and watch it to see what actually happened. But I do know that she ran into this girl and then she got all upset and she went outside. It was, whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo. I'm like, girl, please don't waste your tears on this. Those are wasted tears. And then again, you're upset with the wrong person. Like if anybody that you should be upset with, it ain't this random girl. Tyson probably told her that he was single. And then supposedly the next episode, we're going to find out that Tyson maybe got another girl pregnant. He got some super sperm. Whew, honey, child. I hope if that's the truth, then Chelsea will just leave this boy alone. He's a boy, Chelsea. He's not a man. He plays the part of a man, but he's failing, unfortunately. Lucky Body says Courtney and Salida are my favorite. Okay. Yeah. So we must be one nightclub in Cayman. They all descend on this one nightclub. The one thing I do like about it, though, I must say, as TV shows go, they are showing a good portion of the island in a way. You know, like I saw the aerial shot of like Georgetown. They went to Botanical Park. So I think, follow my logic here, this could actually be really good PR for Cayman in a way. Not the drama, but like the scenicness, you know, the beauty of our islands, that sort of thing. Maybe. It's interesting that I must tell you Elizabeth's role in this when they brought up the fact that there was a report where Armie Hammer came out and told his side of the story about, you know, oh, she's stalking him or stalking people that she thinks he's involved with and creating these fake accounts. She refused to address it. She's like, no, not going to go there. I was a little bit like, why wouldn't you just answer the question? If you didn't do it, then just said you didn't do it. Like, it's a little bit suspicious that you won't even talk about it. Nope, not going to talk about it. Huh. You're on a reality show, girl, that you chose to be on. So when people go on a reality show and then they refuse to talk about the things that put them on the reality show to begin with, like nobody would know. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. But nobody would know who you were if it wasn't for Armie. Like when I heard of Elizabeth Cheney, I'm like, who the hell's Elizabeth? I always get you mixed up with the other Elizabeth, Hurley, or whatever her name is. So literally nobody would know who you are if you weren't married to Armie Hammer and his messiness. Even Armie Hammer, I'm like, who the hell is Armie Hammer? Until he started biting women and doing all the other stuff and getting uber kinky and being accused of assault and all this stuff. Then I thought, oh, this guy looks like he's a little cray-cray. Let's go read up on him. And then we found out half the time he grew up in Cayman. So you're on this reality show, but yet you don't want to answer the drama-filled part of your life. You got to play. Listen, you're in it. You're in it. Play the game. Mm-hmm. Anne says, I'm in it for the drama. I don't care how much of it is real. Yeah, listen, all of us know that there is a certain amount of scripting, I suppose, to reality TV. You know, I watch a few. I don't really watch any of the Housewives currently. Like, I need to get caught up because I just don't have time no more, honey child. But I do watch like Vanderpump Rules, and it's scripted up to a certain extent. And then also the producers who put it together in the end, they have a ton of footage, and then they have to decide what storylines are kind of worth pursuing and what clips to put together. So it's also a little bit scripted in that way, like how they put the final cuts together, right? And of course they want drama. Y'all know that drama sells. Hello. That's why half y'all here in the morning. It's like, ooh, what's the drama this morning? When we were talking about good educational stuff, y'all check out like, oh, Sandy, I'm so bored. Do we have to have a proper class lesson today? So that's why we keep it mixed up for y'all. We do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And it's like making a pepper pot. Throw it all in the stew. Everton says Buttonwood Club used to be the club to be by the airport. You know, Everton, there are different, I guess it depends on what scene you're in. I'm not really in the club scene. Like, I've probably been to a club about 3 or 4 times since I've been in Cayman. Like, literally. I went to the one that used to be above the Strand. I forget what it was called at the time because it's changed so many names and whatever, but not since what is it now? Lily's? Is it still open, by the way? Is Lily's still around? Because I haven't heard any murders there recently, so I'm wondering if they're still around. But I haven't been there ever since it's been Lily's. And whatever it was before, I hadn't been to that one. This was like, this is like 15 years ago. So whatever it used to be like probably 15, 20 years ago. I went to the one What was the name of the one where Peppers was, where the young man got shot to death? Oh my God. I went there like once, I think. You're single and trying to mingle, and then you're like, especially for me, because I don't drink. I'm sitting there going, what was the name of that club again? Next Level. Was that one Next Level? Yeah, I think I went like once, maybe twice when it was Next Level. And I'm sitting there going, what's the excitement here? I don't drink. It's all boring. Seeing drunk people really isn't that much fun. So, Dakota says, you're taking the show a little too serious. Well, they want us to believe in the drama, so I'm here for the fantasy. Good morning, Andy, joining us from La Ceiba. Dee Dee's in the house. Dakota, morning. Johan claims that he came for the quality news and meltdowns. Oh, Lord. No, you didn't. Matrix was the spot, yo. Willie Bounce. Matrix. Where was Matrix again? Was that upstairs at the Strand? That was Matrix, right? Octopus. I've never been to Octopus. I don't even know where that was. Ain't none of you old enough to get into the club. Aaron. Matrix is about a memory today. Where was Matrix? Man. You have to drink to understand, Sandy, because you don't drink. You naturally don't understand. I understand that drunken people seem to lose their minds. Case in point, let's look at what happened Friday at Bananas. If you're sensitive, look away. Hold on, honey child. Do not look if you are sensitive to images. This man, now according to the Popo, he was out there brandishing a knife. And I guess the two of these guys were fighting. I don't really know. And so he was fighting with somebody. And the guy busts him in his head. Now, of course, the rumor we got it is, Sandy, I heard a guy got killed. I could see why people would think that. Because any head injury that looks like this is pretty serious. I mean, he's not dead. And it's probably not even that serious, but head injuries where you have a lot of blood, you can see why people would think he's serious. So, all right, trigger warning. I say trigger warning and the numbers immediately go up to over 500. Y'all not easy. Lord Jesus. Don't blame me if you can't eat after seeing this. All right. But look at this dude. What the what? Oh my God. So police say he was brandishing a gun with this other guy. And the other guy obviously did not take too kindly to it. And so he literally popped him a couple times in the face. And I don't know what he hit him with, but he looks like he's knocked out cold and somebody's trying to lift him up. There's a woman with no shoes on. Right in front of Bananas, of course. Y'all know the score. There's a drink that was probably in hand. And he's knocked out. And his face is all bloodied. Oh, my God. Looks horrible. So I don't know who he is. Everybody was like, who is he? And I'm like, I don't know. He could be a Caymanian, but he looks like he's got dreads or something in his head. But nobody seems to know who he is. So y'all out there fighting in these streets, like, not even the animals are this bad. But anyway. So yeah, that's the dude knocked out cold with some facial injuries. So he was transported to the hospital where he was receiving some treatment. Now, I don't know what the fight was about. I haven't heard any of those details yet because, again, most of my contacts aren't really hanging out at Bananas, but what a hot spot. So right now, the places that if you go to, you might be in a little bit of drama include Bananas, Vine and Tap. What's the other one there? We actually have a couple clubs, I guess, if you consider Banana. Well, it's bar/restaurant. What is it about Bananas? Why y'all be hanging out there? It's the girls, isn't it? Them little girls be like, Poppy. Old Matrix was by Ala Kebab. Thank you, Romeo. Nope, never been to Matrix. Been to Ala Kebab. Across from the Westin. Matrix was across from the Westin? Or Ala Kebab? Which is it? Ala Kebab. There was a nightclub there? The Westin. I can't even remember. Who's going to settle this? Was it across from the Westin or Ala Kebab? Matrix was the Old Islander, which went through significant name changes due to fights, murders, etc. The Old Islander. That was Matrix? Oh, Lord, I can't even remember. So Shaka Zulu confirms Matrix was at the Old Islander complex across from the old cinema. Oh, yes, across from there. Now I remember. Yes. And there used to be a restaurant in there called Bed and something, where you went in there and it was like you could practically wear your pajamas. That was actually a really good restaurant. I was sad to see them go out of business. But yes, Matrix was like, I think around the side, around the back or whatever. Yes. I think I went to Matrix then like once, if that's where Matrix was. Yes. Went there one time. Mm-hmm. Siobhan says Bananas definitely got a bad reputation. I only been there once and never again. Got bad vibes in the place. Well, yes, that building is now knocked down. That's right. Well, I think that Bananas certainly attracts a certain type of crowd that's not really the best crowd in the world. Aliana says, nope, it was where the new roundabout is now by Camana Bay. Yes, I know exactly. Is there a gym or something in there now? Or there was a gym. Then it went from being Matrix to the Butterfly Farm or something. Siobhan says, well, how I see it is don't pull a weapon if you ain't going to use it. People fight over the dumbest crap. Well, he was probably going to use it, and then the other guy knocked him out. Mm-hmm. Yes, next to the old Butterfly Farm. Yes, now I'm remembering it. Coming back to me. Damien says a gun or a knife. Well, the police said a knife. He was brandishing a knife. So, and then the guy tapped him a couple times in the head, looked like. Knocked him out. Mm-hmm. YouTuber 345, good morning, says, yep, we need to keep doing this jungle justice when these punks come out. Kathy says he got knocked the you know what out. Matrix wasn't upstairs? Was there an upstairs club there? You mean it wasn't upstairs? Oh, I could be wrong. Who remember? It was such a long time ago. I don't know. But I do remember going there at least once. At least once. Matrix came after they switched the club name from Bobo's. Oh, I don't even remember Bobo's. Wait, am I thinking Sharky's? Lord, I'm old, right? Never been to Sharky's. Wasn't Sharky's down by down further on West Bay Road? By what is now what's that other club that's all the way down West Bay Road, closer to the Grove? There's like a little restaurant or something in there. Bed belonged to Trisha. Really? Trisha Whitaker? I didn't know that. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Hi.
Good morning. I come give you some of the club stuff now.
My dear, I can't even remember their names and where they were.
Okay, and the Matrix is coming from where Shark is. Shark used to be the islander beside the Butterfly Farm, the old Butterfly Farm.
Right.
It used to be Rumheads before. The whole plaza used to be one club.
Oh, okay.
That's from Mr. Harry. That used to belong to Mr. Harry Lally. That was the biggest club that Cayman ever had.
Really?
It had like 4 bars, a sport bar in it, everything in it, man. So the older folks would know what Rumheads was, and it transitioned to Matrix.
Okay.
Then after the transition from Matrix, it went to LI.
I can't remember the name LI a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, LI nightclub. That's what John from 97.5, I think it is.
92.7. John. DJ
Yes.
Renegade.
Yes. That was him and some other partners had a club there. Yeah, I used to work for them too. So and then you had District 6, and where Lily's is now. District 6 was there first. A club in District 6.
Okay.
And then where you see across from Weston by the Falls, that was Sharky's upstairs.
That was Sharky's. Oh no, I've never been there. What is the one that's further down West Bay Road now? It's still there, and there's a little restaurant in there too, where you can get like barbecue.
You mean where Neptune used to be by Public Beach?
Yeah, what is that club? Jungle. What used to be where Jungle is?
I forget what they call it now. It had a different name before Jungle, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next good club we had was by Treasure Island. Remember the one by Treasure Island?
I think that might have been before my days. What was that one called?
Man, but your days is before my days, so it's within your time.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't here. I was focused on trying to get an education. So I guess the clubbing days kind of
education too, but I was here.
yeah, I was overseas. So the clubbing days kind of missed me a little bit,
But the best club that Kim and ever had was Rumheads.
And where was Rumheads?
That was at the Islander Complex beside the Butterfly Farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that whole complex was one club. And I can tell you, the problem with bananas should never be open because you have people going to a club or so-called club that only has one entry, one way in, one way out. So that's a fire hazard within itself. So I think the Cayman Island government need to look at that place because somebody's going to get, somebody already died down there, but somebody will get dead again down there because as you see how the place is situated, is not suitable for what they're using it for. It just ain't. So before they say somebody get hurt, and this is
but aren't a lot of the spaces like that because they're just limited space? Like I'm even thinking of Cotton Club. Cotton Club only has the one entrance in and out, right?
Yes, but that's a bar.
Bananas is a bar too.
No, Bananas is like a club.
It's more like a club. I must admit that I've never been to Bananas after hours.
When the bars close, Bananas are still open. That's the last thing to close in Cayman. Bananas, basically. Anything that has a 3 o'clock extension like that, you can class it as a club.
Okay.
That's a dance club.
What about Sherenos? Somebody mentioned Sherenos. That used to be. That was a spot one time too.
Yeah, that was before my time. The Buttonwoods and the Sherenos and the Farmers and all them places. That I heard about those places, but that's before my era, so I can't speak up on that.
So LI stood for Lazy Iguana? Oh, I didn't know that.
Who? LI?
Apparently it stood for Lazy Iguana.
I don't know about that, but I just knew the place named LI. Yeah, well, I used to work for them, I was the guy in charge of security there.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the problem that happened at LI, our Matrix and the Rumheads happened outside in the parking lot, right? So basically, most of the security, they didn't want to deal with what's outside because they weren't paid to work outside. Yeah. So, but when you have it should be like the States where the police actually patrol around these areas of great capacity. Basically, we didn't have all this alcohol and people there, because we used to have on Saturdays we had the best drink specials, like all you could drink for $10 for 2 hours, and that place was capacity by the place opened,
Yeah.
And these are the days when Cayman had a spring break, but spring break here died. I don't know what happened. It probably grew legs and sprung. Yeah, but back in the day when the spring break was around, Cayman economy was greater then. The people were different. You saw all the fresh faces. The West Bay Road was littered like Vegas, but now I don't know. We have more people here, but I don't know.
Wow. Well, I know you're taking a lot of people down memory lane. Odell says Islander, Tipsy Turtle. Romeo says
Cotton Club.
Romeo says not the caller calling Sandy old. I'll take it. Older. He said older.
Sandy, You know what I meant. I would never call anybody old because I'm old myself. So if they want to put it that way, but you're just more mature than me. I'm more older than me.
That's okay, honey child. Miss Sue is remembering Treasure Island Days. She says that was the best.
That was a beautiful club because it had live bands in there too.
Yeah. Louise says there was by Jungle Sim Complex as Tipsy Turtle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So wow, everybody, Neptune Restaurant was Tipsy Turtle before in Trafalgar.
Well, I tell you a joke. You see, since LI closed, I haven't been to a club. That's from 2009.
Mm-hmm.
I've not been to a club here anymore because it's not my scene anymore. Because boy, the scene has totally changed from what it was. You know, before you used to have guys like myself when I was younger to dress up to the nine, put on like silk shirt and nice pants, no jeans pants to go to the club. I want to look for somebody, you know what I mean? And we go looking for girls and numbers and try to collaborate with them, you know. But nowadays you see these guys have an entourage of guys with them, and they just want to talk with guys, you know. So I'll be like, why are you going to the club to do that? You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a social place where everybody can meet somebody and talk to somebody. But nowadays it's become like, we have a problem on the road, I'm going to find you in the club. You know what I mean? And that's stupid. That's stupid. So that's why I know these younger I don't know what generation I am because I only heard Generation Z. And that's the last letter in the alphabet. You know what I mean? So I don't know where I came in that, but this Generation Z is not it. You know what I mean? When you have a guy going to a club with an AK, that don't make sense.
Trust me. Oh,
you know
my God.
You're not supposed to be there for that, you know what I mean? I'm not supposed to go to a club and feel like, I told them back in the day, I ain't going to a club unless they're searching at the front. I'm used to that. A lot of people don't like that, but it makes me feel safe. If I can't go in there with a weapon, nobody could go in there with a weapon. That's my terminology of that. But a lot of people feel offended if the security at the front want to search them. No, you should feel blessed and safe. That's a safe place to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
so Romeo said that I heard about farmers when I was a kid. George
I
Chalette
heard about it too.
Says Chuck and Barry had Matrix. So we're going down a little bit of clubbing scene. What was the teen club that they had? Didn't they have a teen club where unfortunately somebody got stabbed and then they had to shut that down?
Oh, you mean what's it called again? Graffitis.
What was it called?
Graffitis by Hartwell Theater.
Graffitis. Was that the name of it? Wasn't there another one where there was some stabbing incident? Man, I can't keep up.
There was a stabbing at Rumheads.
I think that's the one that I'm thinking of.
And back in the day for the teen jams, used to have over by the same Alner complex. They used to have teen jams over there. And also at Graffitis in my time. Graffitis was the dance place for the kids. If you wanted to, like right now, you don't have anything going on to the kids. Then they also had one by Hurley's, by where the new where the Hurley's is there. There used to be a club over there, you know?
Yes, I think that's the one that I'm thinking of.
What
was the name?
I don't remember the name, but I remember the name of the guy who did the stabbing and who got stabbed, but I won't mention them, you know? Yeah. I leave. That's in the past, and that's in the past. But there was a club there, yeah. And that was a teen club. But Graffitis was the teen club back in my day.
Lavana says, don't forget Monkey Business.
Yeah, Monkey Business was there too, but I can't name all of the real ones on me because we had some real ones back in the day, but I didn't get to entertain all of them. I just talk about what I saw, where I went, what I worked, what I enjoyed back then. You know?
Yeah. When you say real, that takes on a different sense of.
Yeah. But
that's for the after show.
I loved it so much. I was employed by District 6, Octopus, Matrix LI. Yeah, I was and next level in the last. Wow. Then I retired from all of that. Yeah, I did all the club scenes. I loved it. They paid me to party, man. It was great. It was great back then.
Yeah.
Had a great team of people working with at the same time because me one couldn't do it. Had a great team of people working with that kept the people safe. And then after I resigned, and most of the guys that I worked with resigned, that's when the clubs went to crap. Because nobody had respect for the people who were working there, actually, you know what I mean?
Very sad. So what do you think it is about? I mean, you said that sometimes these guys go out and they're taking their street beef into the club as well. I guess that's probably always kind of been the case to some extent. But what do you think makes a place like Bananas so different? Well, what is it about bananas? I mean, when I talk to guys, I've spoken to a couple guys there who've gotten in fights, right? And I've said to one of the guys, I said, tell me something. What is it about bananas? Why are you going there? And he said, I'm going to be honest with you, Miss Sandy. I like the Spanish girls. So he was honest.
Well, I can tell you now, from a guy to the world that used to love these kind of things, I mean, yeah, it has an attraction there because this is where most of the Latinas or the Latino people hang out. This is their spot, you know what I mean? This is where you can find the G body and the G-Wagon bodies up inside, you know what I mean? The Dr. Tailored bodies. So most of these guys go there, but...
Wait. Back up a little bit. What do you call them, a G-Wagon?
Yeah, man, G-Wagons, man, because they built I don't know if they built the last, but they built like that. And I mean, everybody come off the same mold. Yeah, if you go around, you'll see it, you know? And most of these guys, they go there just for the pizzazz of the place, you know what I mean?
Well, it has pizzazz, or are you talking about the G-Wagons looking a particular way?
No, but it's all together, you know what I mean? Because, look, it's a small environment. If you have 50 people in there, the place is packed.
Okay.
It's not like back in the day when you had Rumheads. Rumheads capacity was like almost 700 people.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a capacity.
And does anybody check? I'm kind of curious, like you say, because it's a small space. If you got 50 people, it's kind of back. Anybody does like a head count to make sure they're not over capacity? Because all these places, even the one there on Smith Road, what's the name of that one on Smith Road? With the little chubby kid who got in trouble with the gun thing. I think his case is still ongoing.
Oh yeah.
What is that one called again?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I remember. I forget what the place called. I don't. But it's a bar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the fire marshals are the ones who are in charge of that, not the police.
But I mean, neither the fire marshals or the police be out counting how many ultra lounge, yeah.
Yes. So, well, back in my days, the fire marshals used to come through, and they used to come. Well, I used to be in charge of security, so they come to me. We all had a clicker.
No, but I can tell you, I don't think anybody does that anymore.
Yeah, they come and say, let us see the clicker. We show them the clicker. Because we have an entrance, the exit clicker, and they'll subtract the exit from the entrance. And they'll know or have an idea of what the capacity was in there. But nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody's doing that. And that's dangerous. You can't have the place over capacity with alcohol and humans in there. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Exactly. Too many people.
It doesn't work.
Somebody's mentioned Bone Shakers. Where was Bone Shakers?
Bone Shakers. I heard the name again, but I'm not 100% sure because, okay, you had, what's that one called again? Used to be on the side of the Matrix. You had two clubs at the same time when the Matrix was there. Bobo's Iguanas. Bobo's Iguanas was in the same plaza, but it's on the side. They became a pool hall after, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that was like two clubs in the one building. Because that's the same building that the one building was all Rumheads. Then it changed off and it separated up. It had, I think Dunkin' Donuts was first in there also. And that restaurant you spoke about, Bed and something, was also in the front there also, yeah?
Yeah.
And then it turned to a play.
Where was Planet? Somebody else mentioned I remember hearing Planet.
Planet, the same place. Okay. Rumheads had to change the name to Planet because of planning. Because they said the name alone was dangerous for the people because they were like fights every night, basically. Yeah. Alcohol, people, Caymanians and expats, everybody. Yeah. From your drinking, you can have fights. Especially that kind of drinking. And the music also. But the music also, because it's like one big opioid. It all plays with your mind. You're drinking and then you're listening to music that's influencing you.
It can attract a certain type of crowd, but I mean, let's be honest, even country music, you get the wrong kind of country bumpkins. They gonna be fighting and carrying on too.
The ones who can't hold the liquor, the one with a chip on the shoulder, you're gonna always have a problem.
Exactly. Merengue Town, somebody said don't forget Merengue Town. That's true. At the same time, the OG.
But at the same time, like I say, back in the day, we didn't have all this foolishness with the guys with guns and stuff like that out in the clubs. And no, we had these. We would have more disputes about girl taking an ex-man or woman man gone with an ex-girl and them kind of thing. That was
to be fair, that continues to probably be 90% of the dispute. And there've been people in Cayman who've lost their lives over relationship mix-up. I think there was a DJ years ago who unfortunately lost his life over some woman. And
a very good friend of mine too. A very good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine.
Sad.
stab
What
them for
about
no reason.
there's this one still happening now off of not Crew Road, down close by the Seafarers Association. What is that one called? That was a spot a couple years ago.
No, they closed down now.
Oh, they closed.
That's Station.
Oh, Station closed?
Yeah, man, they closed for a while now. For about the last. That's beside the brewery.
Yeah. I didn't know they had closed. Okay.
Yeah, they closed down for a little while now. Yeah.
But even there, remember we saw a couple fights going on there, and
well, the girls were wild over there. You know what I mean?
Well, I heard they were fighting each other too.
Just what I'm saying, the girls are wild over there.
I hear they were fighting. The Jamaicans are fighting the Spanish girls that worked there, and that was a hot mess.
Yeah.
Alejandro mentions Elements and Nectar's Lounge was the place to go when I graduated.
Nectar's, they were all right, but like I said, if we talk about the top clubs, we talk about like Rumheads, Matrix, LI, District 6.
Yeah, Ingrid says, in my opinion, Bananas needs a police at the door instead of simple security to do a proper search for both male and female. Reason why I said this is because the guys use the girls to take in their weapons for them, knowing that they don't search them. Well, everybody should be searched. Men, women, everybody.
Well, that's true, because back in my day, I always had a woman secure the front. A woman has to be searched, because I've seen a woman carry a weapon for man lots of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, you could tell who they are, you know what I mean? Because Cayman is small, you know who's having the beef. Like, when we had the West End Georgetown or the East End Georgetown kind of fights going on, if I saw certain people in the club, like the West End people in the club, I wouldn't let the towners in, because it's going to be a ruckus. So whoever got there first, they got to get in. You know what I mean? And they respected me to understand what I was doing, you know what I mean? Because not anybody could do that.
Yeah, because I imagine a lot of people now wouldn't even know who the Georgetown crew would be, that, you know?
No, Cayman's a melting pot, so you don't know what they look like anymore, really. You don't know who's coming at you, you know what I mean? And like I said, I was in the street then, so I was ear to the ground, know what's going on, who is beefing with who, what they're beefing about. And like nowadays is these beef, I didn't call it beef, I call it chicken, it's soft. You know what I mean? Because it's arguing about nothing. Arguing about somebody's ex-girl, somebody wore a shirt that you probably wore out that look like yours, and you know what I mean? Stupid beef. Whose car look better? Because I've heard some of this beef that these guys are willing to die over, that it doesn't make sense.
My God.
Yeah, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. Nothing. If it's nothing worth living for to fight about, it's nothing worth dying for to fight about.
Yeah.
That's for me. Yeah. That's for me. If somebody ain't trying to stop your livelihood or discredit your good name if you have one, stuff like that, no, it doesn't. It ain't worth even getting upset over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we seem to prioritize a lot of foolishness, but some people enjoying the trip down memory lane this morning.
No, but I heard you mixing up the clubs, you know what I mean? And plus, true, I was a person from that era that loved the club so much that I worked them. A lot of people probably know who I am when I say I used to be in charge of these clubs, as in security-wise. And yeah, I've had people come to me and say, yo, boy, since I left the club, they don't feel safe in the club, because I check everyone. Yeah. You know what I mean? I ban anybody who disrespects the club rules. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've had problems with my employers because of the club thing, because they'll let one of their friends in with a hat, and the club definitely says no hat rule. You know what I mean? So when they did that, I let everybody in with a hat. Then I got this end of the stick, as you'll see. You know what I mean? But yeah, I showed them, say, look, you got to be fair to the people, so the people to respect you, you know?
Yeah, true.
And that's how it works. You can't have a personal friend in there and he's being drunk and disorderly, and you're patting him on the back and telling him it's okay. No, you got to get him out. Yeah, do it like you do everybody else. And back in the day, we had lock-off limits where you see somebody look incapacitated, you don't give them no more liquor. And they will alert the security, we got to get him outside because he looks incapacitated. And that was it. Nowadays, you see them falling down, or they'll be out cold inside of the premises and nobody's doing anything about it. You know what I mean? And that's most of the problems that you see happen around here with these club stuff. You know what I mean? People getting in this beef because they're overcapacitated of what they're used to, and they can't handle it, so they become something else. You know what I mean? Here, alter egos, that does that. Yeah, that does that.
Wow.
That makes
Well,
a whole different
thank
person.
you so much. That was
You're welcome.
very
You're
interesting
welcome.
to hear, for sure. Appreciate it.
No problem. You have a good one.
All right, my dear. You too. All right. Aliana says, boy, he missing the club days. Next Level was nice, but I was done after 2008. John LaRue says Fahrenheit was a popular cologne bar in the day too. I've never even heard of Fahrenheit, I don't think. Interesting. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. Barry here.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, just sounds as if that gentleman. I think I know his voice, but I'm not 100%. I wouldn't gamble, but I think I know the person. But it sounds like he should be one of those that is on the liquor license board that does the patrolling or the checking out of bars.
Well, who do they have doing that? Time. They actually have somebody doing that? I mean,
hold on 1 minute. I'm having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have someone who's actually doing that, or because
no, I'm saying I think they still do that. They've had some good people in the past. Miss Marva Scott was very she was very good at her job there, and she was there. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's probably politics. But she was one of those that was very good at doing the night rounds. But it sounds like this gentleman should be, if he's not working for government, it sounds like should be considered for doing something like that.
Sounds like he might have put down that hat now. You know, there comes a time when this is what kind of kicked off the conversation. I was saying about this so-called reality show, how people not past that, you know, time in their lives where they're like, okay, that's not really my vibe anymore. You know, once you start to have kids and that sort of stuff, you focus on other things. But I think for some people, it's always a vibe. It's like some people I see in their 60s still doing carnival. I'm like, carnival in your 60s? No,
yeah. Well, thank God I don't frequent the bars like I used to in my younger days. And if I do, I'll probably get one or two, and then I'll go at the hours where the younger generation's not there. Or if I do, I'll go along the West Bay Road where they're not going to find. So, you know, where my age group hangs out. That has a lot to do with it too. But it's really and truly sad. The people just fighting for stupidness, and it goes to show the mature level of the country too. You know, because I think that is a big problem. I think that is a big problem. Parenting has been out of the window the last 40 years. I mean, correct. The successful parenting that we used to have, you know, since all this human rights BS came along, some of it's good, sensible stuff, but a lot of it's just damn foolishness. It's the human rights thing, and it goes back to you know, how the globalist agenda is being pushed to push all kind of foolishness today and get rid of morals and everything. But anyway, I just want to say that it's a good. It was good listening to him. He brought back a lot of names that that I've forgotten about.
Yeah, for sure.
I think someone like him that we can utilize their talent. You know, we have a lot of local people that know stuff inside and out that's not being used. And I think that, you know, rather than hiring all these consultants who's just going to consult with the local person anyway and going to be paid $500,000 to tell them that to write a report that on the people on the locals that they just interviewed. So yeah, I think if this young man is still interested, he should be utilized and some kind of board, you know, that involves checking the clubs or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Barry.
Thank you
I appreciate
for your time.
it. All right, my
Thank you
dear.
for your time.
All right, love. 936-2626 is the telephone number. Yeah, pretty interesting. Lizette asking, Sandy, do you remember Police Canteen and Racket Club? Nope. I've heard of both. Where was Police Canteen? Was that actually where the police station is, or where Radio Cayman is located? Somewhere in that area, I think, right? But yeah, I don't know anything about, like, those would have been, I think, when I was probably a little kid. Definitely not going to any clubs at that age for sure. So yeah, bananas in the news again, another fight. So unfortunate, really. You know, the caller talked about how people had to dress, like they had a certain dress code and whatever. I think even those types of things will make a certain type of person come to your establishment. When you don't have any dress codes and people just walk in with their pants down to their knees and they don't care. God knows the mentality. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Sandy.
Morning, dear. How are you?
Beautiful Monday.
Yes.
Morning, Cayman.
Yes, good
morning.
Topic.
I like the memory lane stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been listening. I never heard anyone mention faces.
Faces. Where was that?
Faces. Same complex you're all out talking about, Whole Islander.
Okay.
Faces was there, and Palm Grove Inn.
Where? When would
probably
Faces?
Give away my age.
When would that have been?
I think Faces were like before Matrix, long before Matrix.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've never even heard of Faces.
I don't think it lasted so long, but yes, Faces. And remember, there was a lot of faces on the wall, like posters with faces inside.
Okay.
Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this Walton guy opened it, name it Faces.
Okay.
And he runs Chelsea's pool bar now.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, and Palm Grove Inn. Never heard that mentioned.
Never heard of them. Palm Grove
Inn, yeah, that was when Toots and the Maytals first came to the island. That's where he performed. And Palm Grove Inn. That's where Cayman Airways has their office now. Right?
Cayman Airways. Oh, where? Close to the fire station.
Right.
Okay.
When that was built, it was named Palm Grove Inn. It was also a club that we used to host these international artists. I grew up in Breezy Castle, so I would know all about that.
So Finya said, what about Pepper Pot on Dump Road?
Pepper Pot?
I never heard of them.
That was a bar. Pepper Pot
I think a lot of them cross over.
House sessions there at night.
Yeah.
If you're talking about places with house sessions, oh my God, there'd be a million, because you would all talk about down Rockets. Your brother plays Rockets.
Definitely heard. Definitely heard about Rockets for sure. I think Rockets might be legendary for the after party.
Yeah,
so after the clubs shut down, then you went to Rockets.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Huh. Thank you so much, caller.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Have a good day.
Live says obsession and polo sport will also panic droppers. I haven't heard that term in a while, but I'm not familiar with obsession or polo sport. I got to tell you the truth. A lot of these names now are starting to become unfamiliar. Deandra, good morning. Faith, good morning. Michael Jordan even had a bottle of Corbin. I think I missed a previous message. So Stephanie says, next thing you know, they're going to be coming up with a glamorous granny pageant. I know that my mama would be the first contestant when you're speaking about carnival participants in their 60s, but they've had a glamorous granny pageant. Say that real fast 3 times already. I don't know what happened to it, but they had one. Shaka Zulu says faces. Yes. OMG, faces. So both Live and Shaka Zulu remember faces. Rest in peace, Biggs, says Aliano. I've never heard of faces. Faces is where Rumhead was, says Rough Seas. All you can drink Mondays was the smash, says Corvin. Corvin, you sound like you're too young to know about this, but you know. Mingles says Live Happy. There's a place called Mingles too. El Rey says Palm Groves was in the late 70s. Oh yeah, definitely before my late 70s. I was still a baby practically. Way before my time. Damien says it was the same owner, HL, and they rebranded the name every year. Harry Lally. He was the original, like, I guess, kingpin of clubs or whatever. He was the club maker. Good morning, caller. Bojangles.
Andy, how are you?
Yes, sir. How are you? Not too bad. Not too bad.
Denver Solomon used to run faces. Seen this when Matrix is crossed from the old cinema where the gym was upstairs. Denver Solomon had that for a while, and then Chuck and Barry had it from Mr. Lawrence Thompson some time back. I remember Big Al Downey coming there, John Conley, Earl Thomas Conley. I performed down there. I have pictures up until today down there. It was Denver ran a good place. He had 2 securities there, as I can remember sometime. Also, Galleon Beach was a place in my time that they had security at the gate, at the door. I can't remember the man. I know him, but I can't remember his name from West Bay. It would be 2 of them. They would take turns at security down at Galleon Beach in the time. And I used to play in Tornadoes. And then we had, Farmers Top Star. But I mean, they would have fights, but they didn't have any fights inside there. They would have the fights, outside, more or less. After the place is closed down.
Okay.
After the closed down at night, that's when they used to mostly have the fights there by farmers. And then, oh Lord, Moringa Town, nobody can forget there. But the security there was the owner himself, Cesaro Christian. And in those days, I know you don't know nothing about this. But and a lot of people don't know about this, but when fights would start, he would lock the door, because that had 2 doors as well. One is the entrance and one was the bar door where he was going through. But when a fight would start, in those days, he would go outside, lock the front door, and let out bees. He used to keep bees.
Bees?
In his place. Yeah, bees. And let me tell you,
that dispersed the crowd real quick.
When those bees break, they used to use the windows for doors to get out.
Oh my God!
And you and I started playing there from very young. Those days they never had any cement floor, and there was sand floor. They would dig out the sand to get out. Let me tell you.
Oh my God!
And then we had Browin up by the airport, right where we came on air. We sister was Palm Browin. Marie, she was married. I can't remember her first name, but I can't remember her married name, but she was married to a guy called Orville. That is the lady that used a lot of jewelry. She had a jewelry place down on West Bay Road, and she lives West Bay. I can't remember her name now, but that was Marie's daughter. And we had a security there at the door as well in those days. And then they also had, and this is out of town, but they had the Apollo 11. And up there outside this house, security by the door too. You couldn't get in there. They used to check everybody. And those days, but it didn't. Those days was different from, people went to enjoy themselves, and what they would do, they would look out for each other, because when you had too much to drink, the other person would come say, "Okay, now let's go," and make sure that you take care of. But now you get drunk in these bars, and it seems like nobody cares.
Right,
they leave you right there on your own.
Yeah.
But those days were much different from today.
You should always go out with good friends who can kind of look out for you.
And then they had what they call the hideaway as well. Hideaway, that was in the side as well. One Mr. Whitaker used to take care of that hideaway. That is very other thing. It's the continents, that's his restaurant. but they were good. And then, don't forget, no, we had
Kathy says, Sandy, what he's saying about Moringa Town is the truth. My dad would let out the bees.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh.
We had West. We had 2 clubs in West Bay. Now, Club Inferno was a place I played frequent, and I started my younger years as a musician. And they would have fight there every night. Every night. They would have fight. And then they had one down by Village Farm is now the Dan Levi's, God bless his soul. He used to run that place. And they had, those days, they had good security. They had all like Paul and God bless his soul and John. You would have to hit him with a log or a truck or something down those days. Because they were people that kept security. And then instead they had this, they had one limb and Glen. They were security.
we really going down memory lane. Yes. Somebody said, don't forget Long John Silver in West Bay.
Yep. Yeah. That was George Barnes. He was the manager of the Tornadoes one time. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, caller. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, my darling. Thank you. So we have DJ Lynn in the house. Good morning, DJ Lynn. Mr. Lynn 345 says Taboo nightclub became Next Level upstairs Mitzi's. Oh yeah, I think I went to was it Taboo? It must have been Next Level at that location. I think I went there once. Later became Octopus, and then Allure, and then Club 7. I think the DJs and the bouncers remember a lot of these things because obviously they were there, you know. Sharky's was the best, says Stephanie. Donna says also Blue Horizon in West Bay, Club Inferno, Baron Lee and the Dragoneer, and Kelly's Club. Is Kelly's Club where Kelly's Bar and Restaurant is in West Bay? Caller, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
Sano Christian was married to my grandaunt. Her name was Doreen.
Okay.
And I happened to be in the yard one of the days that he released the bees.
Oh my God. Wow.
And the gas station that's right across the road from Moringa Town, Mike Cecil, that's where CUC, where the power plant used to be before CUC took it over. And Santo was the person who was responsible for running the engine until 11 o'clock at night when the generator would shut off.
Okay.
So just another little nugget.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Take care.
Thank you so much. We are definitely going down memory lane here this morning. This person says Popo Canteen was awesome. After the Popo would go around making sure that all the bars were closed on time, then everyone would go and drink with the Popo. So that was the police canteen. Person says Club Bar, same thing. Only difference is opening times. A bar is from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. and a club is from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Can clubs stay open that late? What are the hours for clubs this time? I don't even know. Morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Sunday.
Hi.
Well, I want to see if I can help beat everybody's clubbing experiences, because we have people on this island that can't handle alcohol. I'd say for myself, one thing, I can't drink alcohol. That definitely enough for me. And I assume that there should be some people out there that experience the same thing. If I gotta say drinking alcohol and all those things to go out to clubs and things, that could be everyone else's experience. I usually go out and I might drink my energy drink, and then I have my smoke before I come out. One or two people might add a drink onto the bill for me or something like that. I might drink like that, but I make sure I don't mix drinks. Don't mix it. Good to mix drinks. It get you I guess a different buzz. I would say for the more experienced drinkers. And one other thing that would be really nice on this island? A little smoke lounge for the marijuana smokers, because we don't cause trouble in it.
Alejandro, I'm sure you remember the rules.
I understand your
sure
rules, but
you
we're in a
remember the rule. Don't get yourself blocked. Don't get yourself blocked bringing it up.
What you need to do, put a little poll and see if we should have a little recreational spot.
Alejandro, now y'all already know we have a rule. No open discussions on marijuana. Sorry. Y'all can't control yourselves. Don't get yourself blocked over a little spliff. YouTuber says 90s and early 2000s was a different time. Loved every bit of it. Rough Seas says I was king of Sharkies. Rumheads, Planet. Oh yeah, Planet. I remember hearing about Planet. Next Level, Allure, Jungle. All the bars of the 90s in Cayman. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Sandra.
Morning, dear.
No one has mentioned Canoe and Bayview. Those were the best two bars.
Which ones? Canoe?
Canoe in the old beach club complex.
Canoe. I've never even heard of them. And what was the last one?
Bayview.
Bayview. Okay.
Yeah, that was on the waterfront, Seafarers Way. My old friend Ralph Lewis used to play there, and that was times when music used to be good listening to. You had a girl, you grab her and you used to dance to soul music, and Canoe is where the break dancing started with Gucci and Nelson Carter and Fabi, and so no one has mentioned those. And nowadays you go to clubs and you go to a bar or to listen to music, you hear pure profanities with the DJs. So it doesn't make sense anymore. Trust me, it really don't make sense going out to clubs anymore.
Yeah.
That's
somebody said BWI Club at the Radisson Hotel. Don't forget the tunnel at the Lighthouse and Breakers. What's the tunnel? That was a bar? Huh. Some of these places I've honestly never heard of. Anybody remember Duppy Hut Club in North Side? Nope. Never heard of them. Kathy says where the gas station by Moringa Town used to be. That was Mike Ice Factory. Yes. Well, that's my kind of area there. I'm a Georgetowner from like that specific area. Because my dad's right across from there. We were like right next to Moringa Town. It's not where I lived, but where we hung out like all the time. So Live Happy says Matilda Corner, Farmers. Would love to go again, even though I'm 40 now, but I can't stand the new music and young people, says Aliano. Damien told me forget the rules. That's what's wrong with Caymanians now. Y'all be forgetting the rules all the time. Everton says, I knew this was coming, my man. Garrett says, oh boy. Siobhan says, well, if you can't hear. Romeo having a good laugh. We need a couple. Alejandro, you're going to get yourself blocked. Don't do it. You're going to get upset with me when I enforce the rules. Don't do it. You and Johan can get yourselves in trouble. Well, y'all can't say that I don't give people chances. That's all I can say. Because when I block them, y'all be here crying, oh, please, Auntie, unblock them. And then I say, what are rules for? Y'all sitting here like rules are meant to be broken. And I'm like, yeah, rules are meant to be enforced. Lynn says Taboo Nightclub was upstairs by Mitzi's. Later on, it became, I think I read that one already. Oh, did I? Later on, it was original Next Level night because Next Level moved, right? Later, it became Peppers and Club Octopus. After that, the same location was Allure and then Club 7 and Dream. What's there now? What's upstairs Mitzi's now? She sold that building, right? So I don't know what's there anymore. Bless Up, Canoe, all the way back to the 70s and early 80s. George says the Lighthouse Club Breakers down in the canal, in the tunnel, lots of fights. What's the tunnel? I have no clue what this tunnel is. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
The Tunnel nightclub.
I've never even heard of it.
Well, that's a long, long time ago. Since I am now 75 years old in the next month, I'll tell you a little story about that.
Sure.
I was like basically just 18, and I just gotten my new car. Dad had warned me about speeding and drinking and driving and so forth and so on. Back to the tunnel, it was a disco.
Okay.
Thing down in there, and the Lighthouse restaurant, down in there is where the tunnel was.
Okay.
That was where the tunnel disco was. I was driving there one night and speeding going across Savannah. I got my first speeding ticket going to the tunnel.
Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to get my first and only.
Your first and only.
First and only, and I hadn't gotten to the club yet.
Oh my God.
So
you were in a hurry to get there.
Hurry to get there, and had to pay like what was in those days £40.
Wow.
For the speeding ticket.
That was good money back then, though.
That was plenty of money. I had to borrow it from my boss. I had to give me an advance to go to court. I was working at the time.
But it sounds like you learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson. My first and only speeding ticket, 1969. I said after that, the government can't get any money. The government can't get any money from me. So that's where the tunnel nightclub was. A lot of people don't know that because, like I said, that's like 60 odd years ago. But Mr. Everett Leacock used to operate that.
Oh wow.
Okay. You have a good day, Sandy.
Thanks, my dear. Appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
Wow. Interesting. Where was Golden Pagoda again? That was wasn't that the Chinese place that McKeever used to have? Was it Golden Pagoda? That was mentioned in Lee Rich's book where he talked about he had loaned him money or something to open Golden's Pagoda. I think it was that. Was it that? What was the name of his Chinese place? But then he said that he never paid him back, and he wasn't too happy about that. Canoe and Galleon Beach was my first experience in the clubs in the 90s, the best years, says Ali Banks. Good morning.
Yeah, son, the tunnel is down. I don't know if they got it closed off now right there in Breakers. That was owned by a Canadian lady called Miss Hull. She was the one that came and started that. Mr. Leacock took it over many years after that. That was the first place that I played in my life in a band. Myself, Freddie Jackson, who's alive still in West Bay, Vivian Paddyfoot, Clive Scotland was the first person that ever played the steel drum in Cayman. That was the band, and the band was called the Lamp-Lighters. And that was the place in the early times where everybody would go. What happened now upstairs, the Lighthouse Club, now that was the restaurant and bar as well. But when you went downstairs, because we used to play downstairs, when you went downstairs, that was like late then after hours where the girlfriends and the boyfriends would be together. It would be like coupling. Everybody coupling off. You know, you don't go down there by yourself. You go with your partner. That's where the tunnel, I don't know if it's closed off today, but in my time, that's where it was. And that was the first place that I ever played in the Lighthouse Club with Vivian Paddyfoot, and everybody should remember him. He was one of the best drummers in the Cayman Islands, Clive Scotland. And we also had Cito Rivers as well. Sometimes he used to play with us. He's dead and gone now.
Wow.
As well. And then we had Elon Pars. People don't forget these musicians. People forget these musicians. Elon Pars, MacArthur Manderson, all of those people from time back, they were good musicians. I bet you nobody can remember who back in front was Obo Weeble. Ask anybody they know who back in front was Obo Weeble. God bless his soul. He's still got children here. Bo Weeble back in front. In Phoenix, all of those musicians, Prince Albert, Mr. S.E. Nemard, all of those, they were the bands in my time when I was growing up there. And Blue Horizon, that's where I also used to play many times. Many fights were up on the back there on that iron show, you know. Many. I remember one time there was a fight going on out there, and they went out. They said, we're going to settle it now. And they went and they were in the water fighting. They went overboard. Blue Horizon was on the iron shore, you know, Northwest Point. That's where the Blue Horizon was. And they was outside.
Come on.
And they went overboard.
All right, Miss, we got another call on the other line. Morning, caller.
Good morning. Oh, yes. I remember Bo Weaver.
You remember?
He was my best friend and his wife, Gloria, and his
my
daughters,
gosh.
Zelfa and Michelle. Don't worry. I remember them days.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, Paddy. Put on everybody. You take care now. Be good now. Be safe.
Thank you so much. Somebody else says, don't forget Islander.
Oh, yeah, all that came, man. All over. Every dance, every old pan. I miss country and western.
Yes, sir.
And then jungle.
Well, country and western still there, man. Country and western still there.
Oh, yeah. I remember everything. I miss country and western.
Aw. All right.
Okay, you take care now,
Thank
babe.
you,
Bye-bye.
Okay, good.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
Mr. George, we got another person calling in. Thank you so much again for the additional info. Appreciate it. Someone dug out their archives and said, Sandy, this is what clubbing was like back in the day. Wow. They sent a full video. Morning, caller.
Morning, Sandra. You're getting some old information now.
I know.
Yeah, I was back in those days too. Make I tell you, Blue Horizon is still there. It's now a home. They turned it into a home. Some German people own that. Many years ago. I believe some of these things was even before you born.
Probably.
So you're new to the stuff. It was owned by Mr. Dalmeen, and the late Dalmeen Ebanks, and he was an excellent sax player. And what Mr. George said before, like MacArthur Manderson, one of the best guitar players that I've heard in a long, long time. Next to him that I've heard recently, years now, couple of years now, was Rennie. I think he's from North Side. And Paddy Foot, best drummer, just like Mr. George said. All of those people. But you know something? Anybody that fought in those nightclubs, we used to have more entertainment now for the tourists and for the local people. Wasn't a whole heap of tourists coming in here that they scrabble up some money for the last 3 or 4 years. They were glad to have company, and it was more things going on then than it is now. Because far as I know, I go to Peppers, but Peppers has different bands. They have Lammy. Lammy is an excellent organist. He plays on Wednesday. Another band plays on Thursday. Peppers has entertainment like from Wednesday straight till Saturday. I never heard about any fights there. They have good food. I never heard anybody swearing and cussing and going on like some people would do. Those kind of people kind of stay away. Not saying that it wouldn't happen, but we have tourists even asking like, where can I go to have dessert and a cup of coffee? Our coffee shops are closed from 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's no good to tell them about that. No good to tell them about in town because there's nothing happening in town. So we need to bring our older people that can still do it, musicians and stuff.
Well, the young people into a totally different vibe now. So I don't know where you're bringing that old people from.
Yeah, I know. Some of them can't even dance. And this is the Caribbean, man. They can't swing their body. They just stand up in one spot and have a drink in their hand or a soda in their hand, and they don't know how to dance. We know how to dance. When I say me, I know how to dance.
Yes,
I was
sir.
taught how to dance. But you a lot of those people like McCarthy and Paddy Foot and Bozzy, the Massianis, where Rupert Ackerman was also in the Massianis. All those things you wouldn't know about. You know what happened? You wasn't born yet. You're still too young to know these things. So we got to give you a little history.
Yes.
We had entertainment back in those days. And George can tell you that, and many other people that knows about these things. We had entertainment. Mind you, I got plenty of whippings from, I used to work at La Fontaine Hotel, then it went to Royal Palms, and we had entertainment at La Fontaine Hotel every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night around the pool bar. But I got many whippings because I was still very young, and I got off the bus and I worked there. And instead of going home and do my homework, Shirlene went to Blue Horizon, and guess what? Had a window open, had a window jarred so I could get up, because back in those days was glass windows. They up, and then you put you had a special stick to put under it to keep it up. But I didn't do that. I just had it jarred with a stick, and then go under. But you know something? People were more loving. They found you drunk. They would otherwise give you black coffee and take you home, or drive you home, or carry you home somewhere. Next morning, you perhaps went back to that person and say, I'm so sorry, what happened and things. They were our best days. I know it was our best days. But I'm gonna get off the phone because too many memories is flowing back.
Oh my gosh!
Flowing back to me, and like I had told you before, we just lost one of our crew. We used to call ourselves, and we buried her on Saturday. Colleen Bush. And so I better get off the phone. It was the way that we she only lived 4 months after she was diagnosed.
Wow.
But it's sad to see her go. We miss her. But we all got to go that road. But this is too sad to talk about on a Monday morning. But Sandra, keep up your good work. And you can learn a lot, because it wasn't back in your day because you're too young to know about these things. But you listen to some of the older people, including me. I'm getting up there now.
Yes.
And I want to wish you and your family and little sweet Gigi and your husband a very good day, and hopefully we all live to see tomorrow, because there's so much bad things is happening in this world. So I'll get off. I'm not going to say that for the fourth time, but I'll get off now.
Thank you, my dear.
So much.
Thank you so much. All right, folks, 9362626. Lots of comments still coming in. We're going to move on here in just a little bit, but it's definitely very, very interesting to hear your memories, you know. This person says, blessed good morning, San. Hope that you're doing very well. Another great topic and interaction this morning. Golden Pagoda, that was the best barbecue in Chinese on island. Thank you so much as always. Blue Horizon was right in front of my mother and father's home on Turtle Farm Road, now Turtle Center, where the German owners, now Mr. Stanley Panton and his wife, Miss Marjorie Panton, now deceased, owned it after Blue Horizon for many, many years. There was a family to the Burks and Coral Gables in the same Northwest Point / Turtle Farm vicinity. So delighted to share. So a lot of you having some memories. This person says, good morning, Sandy. Back in the days, we had some nice nightclubs, and yes, I enjoyed many of them. But Mr. MacArthur Manderson, best guitar player ever in Cayman, and Mr. Vivian Paddyfoot, best drummer ever in Cayman, but originally from Jamaica. Someone says, bring back Golden Pagoda's fried rice. Oh my gosh. What a hot mess. Yes. So glad to hear that you guys are enjoying this. Now, big shout out to Mark. He's listening to the program this morning, and he decided to share a little something down memory lane here. And let me show you guys this video. Some of you have seen that I've been playing it. I'm going to turn on audio because, my God. Oh, Alexa, please stop. Check out Renegade back in the day. Babyface Renegade, look. Let's see.
Yo, you don't know Selector Renegade right now, represented for LI, the newest spot in Cayman. I know you're in tune to Club Tortugas, and it's an exclusive peak. Nobody.
So what was Club Tortuga? Was that like a entertainment thing where they went on to the different clubs, or?
Nobody else can give you this. Only Club Tortugas. Let's go. LI.
Oh my gosh. You see, that was somebody said that was the original pole back in the day. It wasn't really a stripper pole, but I guess people would use it. But wow. Who are these people and where are they at now? Y'all need to do a whole where are they now? Some of them still wilding out the streets and trying to pretend like they're still 18 and 19. And they've never left the party scene behind. But this is so interesting. A few faces look very, very familiar for sure. Yep. The early days, somebody said, I was looking at one of the comments. Someone said that they remember the days back when, what is this? What did I just tell you, Tortuga? Hold on.
The exclusive lounge, Selector Renegade and owner, Mr. Gart Clark of LI. How you doing tonight, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad at all. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not doing too bad, we just recently opened the grand opening last night and things look good. We got some good responses and stuff.
You had the grand opening last night with Black Chinese. I heard it was very packed. What's your opinion? How is the island anticipating this brand new club?
Well, a lot of people have been waiting. They haven't been going out or anything anywhere, so they were just so excited to come out last night. They enjoyed themselves. It was a good vibe. Black Chinese mashed down the place. Selector Renegade was there, he passed through, did his thing. Everybody had a good vibe on it, and the vibe on the street is that they enjoyed themselves,
See it there? Club Tortugas, L.I. till I die.
Ooh, honey child, look at that outfit. So there you go. Look at, okay then. Some of the outfits, very, very interesting. So Corvin has me laughing because Corvin says that apparently mark up to badness with Club Tortuga. Many Mondays, man and woman would beg him to take down photos of them from in the club. LOL. Sounds like it was called Mall Road back in the day. What a hot mess. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Sandy. How you doing?
Morning, not bad. How are you?
All right. Trying to survive, recovering. All right. So back in the day, you used to have party surfers. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember party surfers, yes.
Okay. So you had party surfers.
Yes.
And party surfers used to go out and take pictures of the clubs. This is after Ivan, because a lot of people was not going out during after Ivan. I did one of the videos for Hurricane Ivan. That's when I first started out. I did one of the videos, and then CITN got the rights to the video, and they made the whole Hurricane Ivan video with a bunch of other people. Now, after that, they started doing events upstairs, Piccadilly Center parking lot. People will remember that. People used to have parties at Piccadilly. Now, for me, next level Matrix. Matrix was started off by Harry Lally, who started off Sharky's nightclub. So the thing is with he did the Sharky's nightclub at first, and he did Matrix because he wanted Matrix more for the locals and Sharky's more for the touristic crowd. He wanted to try to separate it so there would not fights. The reason why I used to work security with Phil, Bigger, the late Roger Parchment, and we used to call him the Rock because he was tall as ever. When you see him, when a fight started, you see him coming, you had to stop the fight. People would actually line up to go into the clubs, right? And they knew they had to be on the best behavior. Harry Lally had no tolerance of people fighting. If you fought in the club, you got banned. You got a letter stating that you were banned. You will have your picture up that you were banned, and you couldn't come into the club for at least a month or two. And you'll line up, you'll be properly searched before you came in. Women had to show their purses. They wasn't coming in with no big bags and all that stuff. So there was no tolerance when it came to fights. When you had the clubs, they had an exit door. So we all were trained, properly security trained. And if a fight started, all the security guards, we hang out together. We went together, like every place we went together. So we were like a brotherhood. So if we knew a fight starting, we could see it before it happened. We will always be looking around, and if we see an argument started or the body language, we were able to pick up on body languages, and we would be able to walk up and say, "Hey, everything all right?" before it started. We didn't sit there and wait to start and then try to. So we were preventing it before it started. Club Tortugas started off by me. Cedric had the photography business. I was doing the entertainment business. That video that you see there was 16 years ago, 16, 17 years ago. So I started that off to do more like almost like the paparazzi type thing, going into the club, entertaining, show the club life, showing that came on was kind of coming back after Hurricane Ivan. And that's what started it off. And it was Cedric was doing the photos part, I was doing the video and the entertainment part, and that was actually sponsored by the late Estella Scott Roberts. I went to Flo, as you can see, I went to Flo, her and Julie Hutton. I went to them and I said, "Listen, I want to do this," and they said, "Well, that's not a problem. How can we get Flo into it?" And this is before I have it up on YouTube. Before YouTube started the commercials, I said, "Well, here what I'm going to do. I'm going to run Flow ad or cable and wireless ad before they watch the video." So they couldn't, it was locked into the video. So they had to watch the Flow ad. And then about 6, 7 years, 8 years later, YouTube came out with a commercial type thing. So that was, and then I shut that down because I moved on with my life and everything else. And then I let it had open back up. And when Julie, when Estella, unfortunately, when she passed, I just stopped because she was one of the biggest sponsors that we had, and it was actually it was good, and they always put in the input, and she was always energetic about giving you advice and everything else. So that was one of the things. So yeah, the clubs are not the way right now. We don't have clubs. We just basically have bars. And I grew up. I don't know if anyone. I know everyone was talking about back in the day, but I grew up where my mom used to work at the old Pedro Castle. And Pedro Castle used to have Paddlefoot Band out there playing too. I'm not sure if anyone remember that, but Paddlefoot Band used to be
actually,
playing out there.
somebody just asked me. This says, does anyone remember the restaurant at Pedro Castle in the 70s? They used to give music and dance. They used to have music and dance there too.
So they would have music and dance, and Mr. Paddlefoot used to play out there all the time. One of my cousin's husband lost their husband. They had left from there going home, and they got in an accident. It was a big accident after that, and I think after that they kind of closed it down. And that's when Savannah decided to be a dry state. In a sense of they didn't want no nightclubs and no bars over there. So it's kind of sad to see that when I go out and I see club, people say, "Oh, we're going to the clubs." That's not the club. People used to actually line up to get into the club. People used to be on their best behavior when they go into the club. They go and entertain themselves, and they go out. And I mean, yes, they had fights. I mean, don't get me wrong. We were not a perfect place. They did have fights. I mean, I think at the first next level, someone passed away because of a stabbing. And remember they had, I think Faces or one of those Islander nightclub. They also had a stabbing as well. One of the reasons why they kept on changing the name because someone kept on either passing away over there or whatever. So Harry made sure that all his security guards were at a section. There was no blind spots for securities, and we were not just standing there. We were always rotating every 20 minutes, and that was one of the things that Harry had. So he always had all his security rotating. We were with him for years. Like we went from Next Level to Matrix to I think it was what's the place called? Sharky's. There was always those clubs. Even when the Coast Guard came in, if they caused problems, we would call Roger. And when you see tall Roger come in, you would just leave. You would just leave. He was not joke. He would not joke around. But yeah, so I decided to give you that. I can't talk long because I had my surgery. So you enjoy and enjoy what I just said. Take care.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. So yes, Mark has sent some stuff from the archives that is very, very interesting. I'm guessing this is like the 90s, early 2000s, back in the clubbing days. It's what's it called? Club Tortugas. So yeah, very interesting. Anywho, what a mess. Roger Parchment, Tall Roger, rest in peace, says John LaRue. Glenda says Cayman 2024. I guess a lot has changed over the years, folks. So back then, people dressed in press as well, says Lavana. Andrew says, Hail Boval. Hail Bow Evil for your contribution to music. I don't know who that is. This is Next Level in the video. Yes. Huh. Wow. Okay. All right, folks. That was quite interesting. A little trip, like we said, down memory. They even threw in a little quote from Confucius. Club Tortugas Nights. Yes, sir. Live Happy says, thank God I didn't go to any of these. Skip a few. Imagine I'd be on Ma Road in 2024. No, sir. I'm sure that some of you might be watching this and thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to show up in any of these videos? Well, there you go. There you go. All right. We might just throw those up on social just for the fun of it. Why not? All right, let's move on. So over the weekend, East End seemed to have had a lot going on. Y'all got to tell me what is in the water, in the air. Is it the fresh brew of mosquitoes that came out. Like, I don't know. Morning, Kathy. I don't know what happened this weekend, but East End seemed to have been crazy. So here's a few of the East End related stories. So we know that a man was arrested in suspicion of some arson in East End. My goodness. Good morning, caller.
Yep.
Hello.
Good morning, Sandra.
Morning there.
Now here you guys having a lot of came on reminiscing.
Yes, why not?
Yeah, we need to go back to a lot of us don't know much about those places, but we hear a lot now. With a lot coming out, a lot of cities coming out too. I don't hear them about talking about the Royal Palms.
Yeah. Oh, yes. How can people forget? That was a good spot.
Yeah, Royal Palms was a perfect spot. They used to have dance.
Yes.
And in my days, I was still much younger than a lot of those people. We used to have Settlers band, and then we would have with Eric Smith and them playing. We had those bands, and then we had the one out in West Bay too. What John Silver's in West Bay. That was a nightclub. That was in old days.
Oh yeah.
But I was just talking to my dad about it, and he was telling us about Kiman. He said, and the guy that was telling about, the searching of the bags and stuff, he said there used to be a lot of fights like in the nightclub. He said they never used to have was no guns, there was no knives or nothing like that. He said it was fist in hand. And he said he remember fist and foot. And a lot of them used to he said especially West Bay and Georgetown, if they had a argument in the club and they didn't finish it up in there, they would make arrangements to meet public beach so they could just fight it out there. So West Bay and Georgetown would meet up public beach and they would settle it there. But at the end of the day, when that fight was over, they were still best friends. There wasn't enemies like today, hold malice for a long time.
Right.
Fight it out, but if they could give you a helping hand after that, they would give you a helping hand.
Yes, but, yeah. The mentality has definitely changed, I'm afraid to say.
Yep. But a lot of it is imported cultures that we've imported here. It has a lot to do with it and everything. A lot of changes and everything.
Yeah. So sad.
I heard Mr.
Thank you.
Call in. I heard Mr. George and them.
Yes.
Giving us the history of Cayman.
Absolutely. And you know what? This was making me reminisce about our Cayman Voices segment, which is all about Cayman history and culture when you think about it. So I'm hoping that more people will come forward and nominate some seniors to do those segments, because it's so fascinating to hear a little snippet. Exactly.
We appreciate them, that them, especially them that still got their good memories about, the histories of Cape. We've got a few, but then a lot of them are, not in their, not in their normal sense. So
yeah,
we appreciate those that are still can be able to reminisce and remember the olden days, to know where we reached, from where we came from.
Absolutely, so true.
Okay, Sandra,
thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. Damien says more population, more crime, less morals and ethics, more incidents. Rough Seas says I used to hang out at Royal Palms when I was younger, a little too young to drink in those days. Siobhan says, yep, let's get to the rest of what happened over the weekend. Pat says, don't forget Galleon Beach. They also had a nightclub. Shaka Zulu says the caller's talking about the original Royal Palms Hotel, not what we had just a few years ago, owned by Dart. Is there anything going on at Royal Palms now, or is that still under renovation? What's going on there? Sadie says, can see the white lady have a lot to do with them energy though. Huh? What lady? Lavana says back in the earlier days was my grandparents' club in Ringatown. Yep, we mentioned that earlier. Andrew is asking, how old's your dad? Going down memory lane, very refreshing and reminiscing, says Dean Sinclair. Looking fabulous, Sandy. Love the top in here. Thank you. All right. Ruff sees, yes, I'm talking about the original Royal Palms before it was burnt down. Okay, so what happened in East End this weekend? I don't really know. Sounds like people are going a little bit crazy. So there's a 52-year-old man that was arrested and remains in police custody following a suspected attempted arson on Saturday. And they say right before 8:20 p.m., officers on patrol on John McLean Drive in East End received a report that a man in the area had been behaving aggressively, making threats, and had poured gasoline on a nearby resident. The man then fled the location prior to the arrival of the officers. The man was later located with a machete in his possession, and he was arrested on suspicion of causing fear or provocation of violence, threats to cause serious injury, and carrying an offensive weapon, and he remains in police custody. So someone had said to me that this might have been some sort of a family dispute. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to remember what the message said now, but it sounds a little cray-cray. Yeah, he sounds like he was upset at everybody. So that's a hot mess and then some. I suppose we will hear more details of that when it becomes available. Let me see. So this person says a guy tried to kill this was yesterday, so I'm assuming this is still the incident from Saturday. Says Sandy, that guy tried to kill his brother last night, also tried to burn the house down with his 80-something-year-old mother, also soaked a police officer with water. At least it's not gasoline, I guess. The incident last night in East End, because his father died and didn't put his name on the will. That's what people are saying. Wow. All I can say is, wow. Somebody dies and doesn't put your name on the will. And so you're going to kill your mother, kill your brother, burn down the whole house? Like, really? What the hell? Lord Jesus, take the wheel. I do not even know where to begin. Well, the police didn't give any reason for this chaotic situation, I'm afraid. As they say that their investigations are still continuing. So I guess we will see how that goes, and we'll let you guys know. But my gosh, go out there and get a job. Get a job. Don't worry about what your mama and your papa and whoever else leaving for you. Just get a job. Oh my God, y'all are crazy. You get left out of a will, so you want to kill everybody? Well, that's a surefire way to end up in jail. You're not going to be worrying about no wills up in jail, I can tell you that much. What a thing. All right, so that was Saturday night. My apologies. I think that's the one that we had the footage of. And then apparently there was some other incident at somebody said I thought they'd cancel all the football matches after what happened in West Bay, but there was some incident. I don't think it was actually at the match itself, but it ended up overflowing, I suppose, from people who actually attended the match. So yeah. So that's another situation. Let me see what we had on that one, where basically people were fighting and carrying on. Let me just refresh our memory. So then there was also a stabbing incident that we got confirmation of. So we reported both of these as we were getting them in real time. So the police say that, yes, they are inviting a stabbing incident that took place at the East End football field after 9 p.m. Again, this would have been on Saturday as well. So Saturday night in East End, there was something in the air causing a bunch of craziness. So the police said they arrived at the scene. They observed a man with wounds to the head and abdomen. It was reported that the man had been in the parking lot of the location where he was approached by three other men, who had become aggressive towards him. One of the three men then used an object to stab the victim, and they then left the location. So he was rendered some medical assistance at the location until EMT could come for him, transported to the hospital, but he has since been discharged. So, wow. They're saying that there's no indication that it was gang related, probably just people who have some kind of personal beef with each other. I don't know. But if you know anything about it that can assist the police in their ongoing investigation, 947-2220 is the telephone number. And they also have a confidential tip line, which is 949-7777. Wow. Okay. So East End was a little bit crazy over the weekend, a little bit crazy. So those are the two major things that the police are working on that happened in East End over the weekend. So I hope y'all try and settle down, honey child. Over the weekend as well, this was such sad news about the fire in Rotan. Oh my God. Whoa. Hospital completely burnt down. Somebody sent some aerial photos of it as well. Very, very unfortunate situation. They believe that it was started, I think, was it electrical is what they said? It was sort of their initial suspicions about the situation. But, you know, our condolences really go out to the people in that community. They say that the public hospital, which has served the people for over 30 years, was completely destroyed by this fire on Friday night. Now, we did share some video footage on our page. So if you get an opportunity, you can certainly go and watch the footage. Let me just show you guys a little bit of it. But very, very sad situation for these poor people there in Rotan. Now, the most interesting part about this, folks, is the fact that, unfortunately, what we understand, which is very, very shocking, is that after Cayman donated several fire trucks, remember we reported on that those fire trucks are of no use to the Bay Islands because they can't afford to clear them from customs. They're not yet in use because of the exorbitant fees being charged by customs in Honduras to have them released to Rotan. Isn't that all government? This is where I get very, very confused. And I mean, governments all over the world, I feel like, should be ashamed of themselves when something like this has happened. So they can't get the trucks cleared. And that donation happened, let me put this in context for you. That donation happened in October of 2023. We donated 5 decommissioned fire trucks and equipment to the people of Honduras and Rotan. And I'm sure they could have come in very handy to out this fire and to help. And look at this. Look at this blaze. Wow. So wild. Absolutely sad. So the whole place burnt down, basically. They say that allegations are that the fire may have started due to a short circuit in the pediatric ward. However, the investigations are ongoing. Bay Islanders Network reported that some of the 65 patients evacuated from the facility were being housed at a nearby gym. And on Saturday, medical personnel from Tegucigalpa, which is the capital of Honduras, arrived to provide care to those who needed medical assistance. So very, very unfortunate. The poor people of Rotan really got hit hard by this situation. So our thoughts are going out to them. But I don't know. I mean, this is why I suppose when we do things like donate to countries, you got to make sure that your donation is going to get in the hands of the people that you intend for it to help. Because otherwise, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of having fire trucks sitting there not even being used and getting rusted and you know, soon they won't be of use to anybody. Very, very sad. I don't know. Ay. What can you do? Shaka Zulu says that's Cayman's lack of conflict resolution. Auntie Sandy said it before. I suppose talking about the situation in East End. Vaughn says, wow, Nosa, dead left is what he went to the extreme for. Yeah, in his 50s, you can imagine. What a mess. I tell you. Siobhan says it was crazy that the hospital went down in flames. My cousin lives behind the hospital, says Kimberly. She said that there were smells of burning wire earlier that evening. Oh my gosh. Wow. So sad. Very, very sad, Kimberly. Anthony, good morning. Says they burned it down because they have a new hospital that ain't equipped as yet. So you think someone purposely set the old hospital on fire? But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, at least they had a hospital and it was in use. So you burn down the new hospital to do what? Force the hand of the government to get the new one up and running? I'm guessing that if they haven't equipped it as yet, it's because they don't have the finances with which to do so. El Ray says, what? Fire trucks for the country, but they're being charged import duty? Right. Isn't this bizarre? I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit confused by that myself. Government can weigh its own stamp duty if it's like a government project. So that is really, really bizarre. But that's what they said. It was in several media, discussions over the weekend. Said, oh yeah, you remember those fire trucks that the Cayman Islands donated to us? We could use those right about now. My goodness. Anthony says that Honduras is notorious for burning down structures to get them replaced. Just look at the prison they burnt it. The USA helped build a new one, and they burnt the hospital to use the new one. Well, we have to wait and see what the outcome is of the investigation. Sandy says, Miss Venice, we all know the level of corruption that those trucks will be stolen and sold to another country. Well, again, I think that we have an obligation to know that if we are making donations, that they're actually going to be used for the purpose, the intended purpose for which they were donated. Otherwise, what's the point, really? Damien said, who shipped them over and paid for that? I'm guessing our government did all of that. The announcement back in October basically said that the Cayman Islands had donated 5 decommissioned fire trucks and equipment that no longer were operational on the front line to the fire services organizations in the mainland of Honduras and Roatan. The government said that it was one way to be environmentally responsible and to strengthen regional partnerships. So Minister of Home Affairs, Sabrina Turner, was quoted as saying that it is an occasion where, as two nationals, we can come together on the basis of enduring mutual respect in the best interest of public safety and resilience. The mayor of Santos Guardiola in Honduras, Dilbert, I wonder if he related to the Dilberts in Cayman, said that the donation was welcomed by the people of Honduras. And, they were always grateful for us making donations. Remember back in 2021, we got some humanitarian items together and sent it over back then as well. because they had a fire at the time for, again, the Bay Islands there, Guanaja. So, yeah. So I don't know. I'm assuming we paid to ship it, and now it's just sitting there, God knows where. Siobhan says that's past bizarre, actually. Shania says, Anthony, it's unused because of the no good government we have in our country. Speaking to the no good government in Honduras. So sad. Anthony sticks to his guns. He says that's absolutely right to force the hand of the government. Rotan is the bread and butter for Honduras due to tourism, and they don't spend any money back. There's still a ghetto, and these funds all goes to central government to buy arms. Typical South American political culture. Damien says, and someone did not follow up on that. What a waste of resources and money. Well, I guess once we've done our part and made the donation, yeah, I don't think that anybody would have been following up to say, hey, are you using our donation? I mean, you kind of just assume that they're doing the right thing. What a mess. Shaka Zulu says yes. My goodness, I'm starting to yawn here this morning. I think I'll get up. You guys know that most mornings I don't sit, and definitely when I sit, the yawning starts. Got to keep the blood flowing. Most of the Bay Islanders are Caymanian descendants, says Shaka Zulu. Sharina says, whoa, it's funny how people would say anything just for social media. And if you know nothing, you should not guess or say things. So if you have nothing with sense to say, you should not say nothing at all, talking S. Okay. Most generational Caymanians know that these folks are Caymanian families that started those islands. All right, folks. I don't know what to say. The aftermath of it has been really, really horrible. They are even up to this morning still covering it. Talking about a doctor who was doing a minor surgery and had to basically run out of the hospital as it was burning. So they had an interview with him this morning as well. Ay. Such a sad state of affairs. Here's another familiar name, Arch. Mr. Stephen Arch states that the hospital can be active in 2 weeks. After all of this, it's just excuses. Is this being the new hospital that they're talking about? Let me see what this is in relation to. Hold on one second. If they can get it up and running in 2 weeks, you kind of think, why not? All right. So let's get this. Let's get a little update, if we will, from the Bay Islands News Network, who has been reporting heavily on this story to see what the latest situation is. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just going to pull this Facebook feed in. This was just this morning.
Hello, good morning to each and every one. We continue here at the Bay Islands Network. Just as mentioned, there was a march that was called for this morning here at the Beat gas station in Dixon Cove. We're here with Stephen Arch. Stephen, tell us a little bit about how the scenario, what you think that happened, because we don't believe in that it can take 2 years for this hospital to be finished. We know that you all was one of the first ones to respond to the fire burn. A tragic moment for the Bay Islands. How was that moment? And we know you got a chat that a lot of people on that, and that is how you all got a lot of people to bring water and to come out. How was that scenario on that night?
Good morning, Ms. Jareen. Good morning to everyone. Yeah, that night emergency, we had one call, which I think is one of the worst calls ever received. That the hospital was on fire. That's our home. Well, it was our home. Now it's done. And we immediately got up and start calling all our workers that works on trucks and friends that has trucks, and calls my watchman, say make sure all my pumps are on, pumping, so we are up for this filling station. And so we got to go down and help out the fire, you know. Thank God it wasn't no lies. Got lost into it. Thank God the people from the hospital responded on evacuating everyone. And I don't know, on your team TV channel, I asked people to call the owners of these private hospitals to activate their hospital to receive the people, because we had a lot of sick people in the hospital. And thank God everyone responded. You know, Rotan, when it's an emergency, we all together in this. And we all united and we willing to help. Next one, going to what the government planned to do with activating one Centro Salud Spanish Town and putting some tents there by Julio Galindo football field, and using the other hospitals like, you know, like for backup. I think that's a waste of time. One down by Julio Galindo Stadium, they even got water. The Guardiola got water, but that's all. Spanish Town do got no water up there, and none of the parking. We have a brand new hospital up on that hill in front of the municipal. I know if I call Rotan people, carpenters, electricians, everything out, and we got the materials, we could activate that hospital in 2 days, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we could hold that open. You put brand new ACs in that. Up there has water.
Well, this one I ask you, because I know a lot of our viewers that watch and see, they don't know the reality of what's going on up there. I know you've been up there and y'all been a part of the process. What really it is missing, because we do a live and we see that the structure that done pay, it done plaster and everything else, it don't have no light. That's about it.
Yeah, and lake will be running 2 days. Lake will be, we getting enough electricians there. Lake will be installed there in 2 days. Water could be installed there in 2 days. And all we need is sheetrock, or we could use that brand new material that uses some PVC sealant and put that in. You know, the mayor had one interview the other day about he got the plans and everything to finish it. In case something happened, it happened. That's starting now. But no, they wanna go and, I understand the new model or design for the new hospital is double the size of what they got up there. They can't finish what they have. If Mr. Jerry Hines were there, the hospital would be done. This is 2 years that Rotan Hospital, brand new hospital, been thrown down. We need to finish it. You imagine how those people that donated millions and millions and millions of bills to that hospital, Mr. Jerry didn't sit down and wait for nobody to come and finish the hospital, or start the hospital. He did it himself. We need our people to call their regidores, call their alcalde, call their governor, call the diputado, tell them, let's get that hospital open. Open one wing of the hospital.
Because it has 2 floors and we see that it has different wings. That has a capacity for a lot of people. And then them rooms ready. They just need light. They need a little bit of heat.
And we ready to go 3 or 4 brand new AC, them big 10-ton AC. That thing will be freezing quick. Jareen, it's ready. 2 weeks and we got that ready. Get us the funds. Get us the people. Say we could hire so many people. It's an emergency.
And I think people will volunteer, because how thing is right now, everybody understand the necessity and the emergency of this hospital right now. People understand it.
Imagine. May God it never happen again. That is, them 15 kids that came in the back of my car, inside my car. Imagine that going to happen. Maybe and put them. Maybe and put them. Imagine, may the Lord never happen. I do one plane going to have an accident. Maybe and put them. I'm here supporting the doctors and the enfermeros that, you know, ask to come and let's make a march to the hospital. And for me, I got American insurance. I could get my hospital paid in the private. But what about the poor people?
And the thing is that we seen, someone gave me an information yesterday that they went to one of these clinics and they asked them, are you coming as a public citizen or to the private clinic? Imagine. Now, this is supposed to be a clinic. These clinics are going to function to help people that are in need of medical assistance. And they don't start with the thing.
Yeah, that's what I tell you. We need to do our own thing, bro. We can't just sit down and wait.
So you think that this hospital do need 18 months, like they say? And do you
One
believe
wing,
that,
one wing.
that it is political? Because you hear it saying that the hospital that they have there now, it not fixed. It do got it do have the requirements. They're bringing up a lot of things. Then one minute they're saying that the Congress had approved this money. They just was waiting for the bid for it to go on to see which company was gonna build it. What you really think happening? Why it not built today?
I don't really know, Jerry. I don't know what's behind it. I don't know what dealing out behind it. I just ask people, let's get this thing done, man. Let's get this hospital open one wing. You know, we in deep trouble right now. You know, it's sad what the island going through today now because people that do have the vision, how to get it done. If y'all need help, let us, the people that know how to get it done, let's get it done now. Now open that wing of the hospital. That wing where I walked through yesterday is almost the size of the whole hospital. So that means it can happen. We could be back up and they say, oh, well, the noise gonna make it. Okay, we activate the front part and we start from in the back. Come in. As we go repairing and fixing, and if there's too much noise, we pass them where we done fixing the back.
Well, folks, the whole thing is just very, very unfortunate. I mean, we hear different opinions. Is it a mixture of politics? Like, what's going on here? The poor people of Rotan now have no public hospital, and I feel really bad for them. I mean, this could have some devastating, roll-on effect. And of course, I'm very, very much aware of Caymanians, very close very, very close connections to the Bay Islands. Shaka Zulu, in fact, was it Shaka Zulu that made this comment? No, Rough Seas says that nobody can tell me that's not where Cayman accent comes from. It's not a mix of Jamaican, Irish, Patois, Spanish accent. Mostly came from the Bay Islands. Damien's asking the question, where is all the money from cruise tourism going? I have no clue. Siobhan says, make sure that the electrical is done properly because if something is rushed, errors can be made. And naturally, even the cause of this existing fire, if it was something to do with, an electrical issue, you can't rush these things. But at the same time, the question remains, what would be taking so long for this hospital to be completed? Of course, you would think that a public hospital would be done to a particular standard, especially people, this is where you're housing sick people and all sorts of stuff, and they need the best possible care. So very, very sad. Damien's asking about health inspections. It seems to me that once government gets involved in any projects, and this is why I always chuckle when I hear people saying, oh, let the government regulate this and let the government regulate that. And I'm thinking, why? You want government over-regulation and you want government in your business because of what reason? Clearly, that is problematic because, governments around the world don't have a really great successful model on how they get things right. Most of the time, they're over budget, over, the time frame, the project completion deadline. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So the government is saying 18 months. You know what that means? That's probably more like 3-4 years. Same thing we think about Cayman Islands government and their projects. By the way, not for nothing, but can someone please tell me this so-called revitalization of Georgetown, where they have Georgetown streets dug up from here to infinitum? When is that going to stop? When are we going to have a final product of whatever this is? I hear now they're putting some of the electricity underground. It's a hot mess. They have the entire roadway dug up in town. If you have to go to town, so if you work in any of those surrounding buildings, or even if you have to go to the library, the bus stop, all of this stuff, you're going to have a hard time getting through there. And it really is disrupting the flow of traffic. But my question is, when is this project, what's the expected completion date? Because quite frankly, it seems like it's going to be a hot minute before we can, before we can see any end to this. So I don't know. We saw, remember, with the previous, what was it again? The one area that they put in as a pedestrian only, what's the name of that street? Anyway, the one that they've done with pedestrian only, that again went over budget and way over the time that was intended to take. And of course, the question remains, anybody using it? I mean, most tourists don't seem to know what to make of it. I'd be curious to know whether or not the businesses in that area have experienced any sort of a difference in the traffic flow, if you will, to their businesses, because they get a lot of foot traffic in that area. But is this something that has actually been beneficial to them? So a lot of you sent photos of the poor hospital that has burnt out. And my God, I mean, I hate to say it, but it looks like it is pretty much a complete loss. It doesn't look like anything can be salvaged from that facility. It's horrible, really. Let me show you guys a few pictures here. Somebody actually sent us an aerial photo of the hospital as well. And when I say the whole thing is gone, no kidding. The whole thing looks like it has been burnt to the ground. So incredibly sad. Give me 1 second here. I'm just going to pull up some of these photos to share with you guys. So I'm sure that Caymanians, I know, always come forward and help. I'm sure we'll be hearing in the coming days about some initiatives of how our people and maybe even the government will step forward and offer some assistance to the people of Roatan and the Bay Islands. But again, I really hope that there's some accountability with the materials that are being collected, because when there's no accountability, I see people all the time, even here, asking for donations, and then you don't really know whatever happens to the donations. So I think one has to be very, very cautious, make sure it's being organized by people who will ensure that it gets into the right hands of people. So here is some of the photos that we have received. Again, I mean, nothing left. Like, wow. Look at that. Everything is just burnt to crisp. I wonder if some of the equipment was intended to be moved over from were they going to decommission this old hospital, or were they going to have both continuing to run, but like in a different capacity? Because if the intention was to use some of the equipment from this Roatan hospital in the new one, what I can tell you is nothing is left. Absolutely nothing. And folks, medical equipment is some of the most expensive equipment in the world to purchase or lease. A lot of people can't even afford to purchase it. They have to lease it. And this is what remains, folks, of the hospital there in Roatan. Nothing. Look at this aerial photo of the facility. I mean, smoldering, and everything is completely gone. So sad. Someone sent another picture that shows some of the aerial pictures, and they posted up, says prayers for Roatan. All right. We'll obviously see, again, if there's any legitimate movements in trying to help the people of Rattan, we'll certainly advise you guys of those when and if we become aware of them. Alejandro says the government is the people the last time I remember. Siobhan says government withholding the money. I mean, if they can't even get the fire trucks from where they are, that says a lot. 345 Ray says it's all political. They will hold their hands out now to the U.S. for funds. Oh my gosh. Wow. Shaka Zulu says Caymanians, catch up on your Caymanian history. Bay Islanders have those Caymanians' last names because of the mass migration the Cayman Islands had in the late 1880s and early 1900s. Yes, a lot of our men went overseas to work, to find employment, including turtling and so on. And the Bay Islands, Nicaragua, was part of some of the areas in which they went. Rough Sea says, who's in charge of infrastructure and design of these plans? Only God knows. Only God knows, honey child. I'm assuming you're referring to the ones in town, you know, our revitalization. So yesterday, I was trying to go through town, had to turn back around because, again, right where the town hall is, that is now blocked off as well. So you can't even get past that. They have a big hole in the ground, and I'm told that they are actually using that for, hold on one second, that they're actually using that to put some kind of underground electricity or something, some underground piping in the area. So, you know, I don't think anybody has given us a real update on where we are with the revitalization project. What are the project deadlines? Nothing. They just dig it up, and we're going to just have to wait and see exactly what happens. I know for the people who work in town, it's really testing their patience. I can tell you that. Not only because it has taken out a large portion of the available parking in town, like there is some parking in that area, which parking is already limited. If you're a juror or you ever have to go to court, you'll know that it's very, very hard to find parking. And so, you know, there you go. Damien says, why can't they work at night shifts? Guess people complain of noise. I don't know. I don't know. No one has told. Who does this project fall under? Which ministry would this be? The revitalization project. Is that going to be? I don't even know which ministry this would be, to be honest. Somebody said that Georgetown revitalization project manager is traveling. Well, just because he's traveling doesn't mean the whole project is going to stop, does it? He's been traveling. Okay. But I mean, if the people, the construction workers and those people, those, you know, project managers, so to speak, are construction managers, if they know what the game plan is and what they're supposed to do, I don't see why, if the project manager is traveling, that should have anything to do with holding up the project in any way. It should still be full speed ahead. Anthony said, just beware of donations to Rattan. It'll be the same as Guanaja. Most don't reach its intended needs. Yeah, I was actually thinking that earlier. And there can be so many logistical issues in between, you know, getting them the stuff that they need. So again, be very, very cautious about sending things thinking that it's going to actually benefit the people of those islands, when a lot of times it does not even reach intended people. Thank you, Shaka Zulu. Albert says, nah, unfortunately, the government is the people who control the government. You know, those people with big money. And Albert, it tends to not be the people, as you rightfully said, who need an operational, unbiased and working government. Siobhan says, well, that will definitely give you patience for sure. And no one seems to know what that project, when the project is done. Damien says infrastructure falls under Andre Ebanks. Well, we can certainly inquire about that. I'm not so sure that it is, but maybe. Nope, somebody says no, this is under Jay Ebanks's ministry. Yes. Colin Lumsden is in charge of this project. Oh my gosh. Idiot extraordinaire. I'm just reading what people said. Don't come at me, folks. I'm just telling y'all what people saying. But he can't, I mean, I get that he's the project manager, but doesn't somebody else have to sign off on it? Like some government official? Somebody said, call in Ministry of PAHI. So that is definitely Minister J. Ebanks. Sad about the hospital. They've been working day and night. This person says Robson Construction. Kenneth Bryan. It doesn't fall under Kenneth's ministry. Actually, it's not him. The project is not going to be finished. They need to be cautious of the water and electrical pipes underground and need to resurface it. The Georgetown project is now changing to walking away like Kimana Bay. No expected completion date. Walkway of all tiling is from Cardinal Avenue, Fort Street, Mary Street, and Shedden Road. The project is made for more cars to drive through town. The project is made for no more cars to drive through town anymore. 2025 for the dumbest that was elected. Oh, 2025 for the dumb expletive that was elected. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. Okay, then. So they're trying to make it a Kimana Bay? Is that what I'm understanding? Trying to make it a walking area, pedestrians only? Yeah, except Cayman in town, I got the space for that, or the Lord Jesus, please help us. Please come this way if you're not busy, Lord. We could use the help. I mean, if you're trying to copy what Cayman Bay did, why don't you go talk to them and see what their thoughts would have been about making another Cayman Bay in central Georgetown? They better try and come up with some parking. Speaking of which, what is happening with the old tower building parking lot? No movement on what that's ever going to shape up to be. And also the old government building, the glass house. Y'all know the glass house can't be repurposed, right? Everybody, I think, knows that was a very sick building and it was actually making people sick. So you can't repurpose it and put any live people in there that you don't want to be getting cancers and all this other stuff. So if that's the case, why aren't we just not knocking that building down and either putting up a parking garage, which would be the practical purpose of that, or make it a green space, a park where you can just sit down and watch some birds fly by, or the chickens come and try and steal your lunch from you is the more practical thing that is likely to happen. I don't know. That was planned from the 90s, and then 3 high-rise parking was to be built, one by the library, another where the tower building is, and the other by Piccadilly. What a mess. Siobhan says it has to fall under someone in government. I wonder why no one has said anything to the people or given any notice for how long it's going on for. So this person says, in front of the old Comart building, we lost 16 parking lots to Colin. I mean, listen, as someone who has to go to court all the time, even now, it is so difficult to find parking. Poor jurors, I feel the worst for them Because once you're called to jury duty and you have to be there every day for like a month or more until you actually get called for a case, it is impossible to find parking. And the little, remember the little bus system that we had where they would like, you know, give you a little ride into town and then go back to government buildings so you could park further out and they would assist you, the little shuttle service. They did away with that as well. So the shuttle service is also gone. Garrett said they need more parking because Camana Bay has loads of parking compared to Georgetown. Exactly. And the other thing that Camana Bay has is they have smart parking where now, you know, at least the parking garages will tell you when they're filled to capacity or how many parking spots are left. Lord Jesus. Wayne says, let's turn it into CMR's headquarters, laughing out loud. No, sir. Don't y'all be mixing me up in the foolishness, honey chill. I don't think so. The old government building, hell to the no. By the way, someone was saying to me the other day, some dodo head, let me just put it that way. That's the nicest thing I can say about her, was recently talking about, oh, you know, she called an MP about, oh, Sandy claims that she was running the government. This not. I said, first of all, y'all got me mixed up with somebody else. I would never take credit for being involved with government decisions when this is the S show that the government is operating. Please do not mix my good name up in that kind of foolishness, because I believe in certain standards when you're in business. Okay? And it ain't happening, as we can see. So I have no clue what y'all talking about, but don't call my name and talk about I run in no government and government politicians need to run decisions by me. Honey child, please. If they had decisions that they had to run by me, this place would be in a lot better shape than it is now. So do not insult me with your meow stories and rumors, because that's not how this works. I ain't got nothing to do with government and their hot mess of a situation. I can tell you that. Senior, Andrew says, ensure that those parking garages have proper drainage. They better. Damien says it's FOMA's planning. If you came out and you know what that means. Garrett says, get the Samurai helicopter to go to court, child. We can't afford such luxuries. That would be wasteful to the environment. I guess I might have to hitch a ride onto a drone. Find a drone that can carry my weight and I'll be like, you know, droning into town. I don't know. Government admin building didn't even plan to do high-rise parking in case of a hurricane to save vehicles. Siobhan says people can talk foolishness, I swear. Some people like to hear their own voice sometimes. So this other person says that Camana Bay also has free shuttle around the area. They should consider that too. Well, we had it. When did we have that? Was it during COVID that they were doing it and then they got rid of it? Huh. Okay, so this person has some thoughts on it. Hold on one second. Thank you so much for sharing. By the way, the craft market. I hear that that's a hot mess of a situation and that I need to go out there and visit the craft market. You know, I even forget that that's where they're located, because that location is, I guess, is not a good spot for tourists because it's right across the street. This is the old tower building now. It is right across the street from the fish guys. So maybe that's not too bad of a location. I don't know. But I hear there's a lot of issues going on around there. And my sources keep telling me, Sandy, come and have a look. Instagram comment says Camana Bay is a bigger place than Georgetown. True. And also, Camana Bay was designed from day one. What you see is their 30-year plus plan from day one of how Camana Bay was going to begin. And, you know, they've got all of that as part of their pad. And then when they're ready to start in a specific area, then they go into that area and they get planning approval for that specific building. But the pad has included all of these structural elements of mixed use, mixed purpose, you know, restaurants and stuff at the bottom, housing at the top, condos, whatever. that has been in the pad for a very long time. This person says, plus no parking grounds or building. If people have increase to deal with, the glass house cannot be demolished. It's now made a historical statement. What do you mean statement? It's made a historical, is it considered a historical building? Because when you say a historical statement, I don't know what that means. I just know that, that is a very sick building. And so there's some definite issues with it. Piccadilly building where Hobbies and Books was can be used for parking garage, but now it's rented to those in the Piccadilly building. Well, that parking garage was always intended to be used by the proprietors of the associated building. Craft Market is being tiled out behind Parliament building. Really? Okay, I need to go pay a visit to the Craft Market in any event to see what's going on there. All right, this person says, good morning. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I missed their comments from earlier, so we're going to just add it all in. Hold on one second here. They have said the following. Good morning. I watched the episode where the English girl was on the beach talking about how great a person / father Tyson was. And I was like, I really hope this is for TV. And this fool don't believe that mess. Let me know when you move on to the next topic, please. All hired MPs are a bunch of follow fashion monkeys. What monkey see, monkey do. Lord Jesus. Well, y'all the ones who are electing him. So all I can say is the circus is alive and well, honey child. The circus is alive and well. Hot mess. All right. Yes, Craft Market only have a tent for the vendors and no fans, no benches for the visitors. Sandy, sometimes the people see that the new building is taking too long, and so they do crazy things to get the other one up and running, just saying. So same suspicions that Anthony, I think, was saying as well. So this person says that Colin reports to Tristan. They are friends and co-workers from day one, so there is no accountability. What the heat? No accountability. No bueno. No bueno. Needs to be some accountability, honey child. Ay. 16 parking spots in front of the old Cormorant building. So all those ones that were like right in the front, like right across from the library, they're going to be gone? But what are they doing there? So the people who work in those buildings, where are they going to park? I'm confused. So somebody else said that this revitalization project is his Colin Lumpson's brainchild. Oh my God. All right. Well, honey child, I wish that they would have a conversation with the people to tell us what's going on and when we can expect to see some sort of completion and what the project is. What a hot mess. All right. This other person, Tristan Hides, is a big crook, says it. Well, it's an opinion. You all can see that money he spends on his Honduran wife lifestyle, LV bags, European trips, etc. I don't know Tristan, so I certainly can't speak on anything related to his lifestyle. I don't know, but I have heard. But is she from Honduras? I don't think she's from Honduras, Isn't she from some other Spanish country? She used to be with with the other fellow there. Speaking of Robson Construction, she was with one of those brothers. But I kind of thought is she from DR or somewhere else? Anyway, I have heard that he has a very high maintenance spouse that Panama. Yes. I didn't think it was Honduras. I thought she was from somewhere else. So somebody else is Panama. That probably sounds about more right. And yeah, I mean, you know, they're high maintenance because they probably never had that life in Panama. So now they want it now that they've moved to the Cayman Islands. But I have heard that she's extremely high maintenance. But again, you know, if he wants to work his little fingers to the bones to provide for her that lifestyle, then that's on him. I actually had a very interesting situation where you talk about how small Cayman is, right? Not only is Cayman small, but I can tell you the entire world is small. I was actually traveling overseas and at a location overseas, and I saw some stuff pop up with his name on it. And the person said to me, oh, he's going to be opening up him and the wife or whatever are going to be opening up a daycare or a child care center or a little school or preschool or something. So I'm like, oh, and that, you know, he travels a lot to the States back and forth preparing for that. And so, of course, I thought to myself, but he's a civil servant, right? So he is working on behalf of the people? I hope. I mean, I'm just asking. Y'all tell me. Someone else said back in January when he came up as a topic of conversation about the painting that his Honduran, they use a colorful description for her, which I won't use, but again, I don't think she's from Honduras. She's from Panama. Has him in Miami every month. Bet she's making him spend his money. Oh, my Lord. They said the funny thing is he wasn't the kind to run to Miami every week, the previous one that she was with. So she found someone who would. Well, child, I guess more power to her if she can find a Caymanian fool to use. I mean, who wouldn't take him, right? I guess. I don't know nothing about that. So I'm just saying. Use them and keep it moving. Diania says, so it can't be her own money? I don't know. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Andrew says we need to plant more sea grapes, which prevented flooding over in Cayman Brac, more mangrove mitigation projects. Is DART planning this project or is it just government? What project? The revitalization in Georgetown? That has nothing to do with the DART organization. So I'm pretty sure they're probably saying, please don't mix us up in that hot mess of a situation. UK needs to adopt these methods in the Caribbean instead of planting Christmas trees, soil erosion. Somebody says, yes, Tristan is opening a Montessori school in West Bay. He's the money behind it, but not the front man. I'm sure he designed it, etc. I can't remember the lady's name who's the partner and front person, but she is Caymanian. So yes, I actually learned this about this school or whatever that he's doing in Miami. Coincidentally, I was just in the right place at the right time, and I see all this stuff with his name on it. And I said, oh, I know a Tristan hides in the Cayman Islands. They said, oh, really? You do? Yeah, he's opening a school over there. I said, what a hot mess. Somebody says, good morning, this is Sandy. The school is a Montessori West in Mount Pleasant. There you go. Y'all know what go on. Okay, well, I guess congrats. You know, we like to see our Caymanians doing things, but when you work for government, please let that be your primary focus. I'm just saying. Morning, Sandy. I see you look all glam up today. Years ago, I understood that PPM wanted to sell the glass house and police station. I think the glass house should be renovated and made into something with culture on the grounds, a nice garden to sit and enjoy. Well, the problem with the glass house is it is considered a sick building. You can't renovate the older sick buildings, just like the Tower building, because they're full of asbestos and all this other stuff that causes cancer and kills people. So, I mean, I guess you can just have it to look at. I think any remediation efforts, that they might as well just knock it down kind of situation. So I don't know what the intention is with the government building, the former government building, I should say. It would be interesting to see. So, yep. All right. So somebody sent a picture, says there are currently 14 parking spots there that I have circled in red. After the project is finished, it'll be 2. And what else? 2, and what's the rest of it going to be? I'm a bit confused. But why are we taking away parking spots? I don't understand. They done gone and confused me. Hot mess. Wow. All right, well, that's it. The show's over. I honestly think that DART would do a better job on the Georgetown revitalization. They did Camana Bay and the roads around it very well. Listen, say what you want about the DART organization, but I've always said this, that they do take a certain degree of pride in doing things to a particular standard. And so, you know, give them that. And they do, you know, and they think a lot about a lot of different components, because I guess they got the money to bring in all the experts, and they do fauna and this and that. And I mean, they do a lot, and they put a lot of thought into their projects. Government, yeah, we see the carpet at Clifton Hunter that just had to be ripped out. Don't ask me anymore. Neil says, gold, don't mold. Don't catch mold, laughing out loud. CJW White says, good morning, Sandy. To get the government's attention to get things done, IPS to target the early morning and evening traffic, also to protest, in the presence of the tourists and expose them and their nasty behavior. Also, most of the callers that call and complain should stop hiding behind your voice and step out in action with plaques and march for their rights. You've been doing your share of defending your island, but what about the rest? All we do is just talk, and no action behind. Well, CJW, point taken. Plant more trees or benches in the sun, says Damien. Siobhan Berry says, tell me you don't have common sense without telling me you don't have any. Town barely have parking now, and they're going to take away more. No, sir. I wonder what the criteria is for the so-called revitalization. Like how do they know that this project is going to be a successful revitalization? You know what I mean? Because I suspect that what might end up happening is this might end up being more of a let's finish killing Georgetown type of a situation. And you don't end up revitalizing it, not at all. I ain't putting my goat mouth on nobody, because God knows whenever I do that, people start dropping like flies. So let me try hush. A hot mess. Anywho, good folks, that is the end of our program this beautiful Monday morning. You guys have a good one. Rough Seas, it says it won't be a success. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, Rough Seas, because then they can blame me for it if it isn't. Y'all have a good day. Be good. Be good at it. See you tomorrow morning right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We'll be live again tomorrow morning at 7:25. We start a little 5 minutes early. See y'all then.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.